Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Fry, Carew, and Oliva against Nolan Ryan, and for the play, here's Dick Enberg.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everybody. It's Nolan Ryan rocking back twice, and the first pitch of the game is up and in, ball one. And hitting the deck is center fielder Steve Bry. Boy, that one got away from Ryan. And Red Flaherty, and there's pressure on that plate umpire tonight, sweeping off home plate. As Bry hit the deck, he kicked dirt all over the plate. Jeff Torborg handling the catching chores. Ryan wastes no time. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball grounded through the right side. So on the very second pitch of the game, Ryan loses any chances of a no-hitter as Bry singles sharply into right field. Bry batting .259. These Twins are red hot. They've been playing great baseball. They're fresh from a 3-game sweep of the Oakland A's up north. They've now won 80 and lost 78 and need only one victory in the final 4 games of this series to clinch third place in the American League West. Here's the American League batting leader and the new champion again this year. Rod Carew hitting .349. He has 200 base hits. He takes the ball outside. Bry, the leadoff man, is on. Ryan straightens, takes a look at him, and here's the pitch. A curveball drops over the outside corner, 1-1. Tony Oliva, the designated hitter, on deck. This Twins team can hit. They've been leading the American League in hitting for a while. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good fastball, sailing up and out of the strike zone, and Carew could not resist. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Rod scored 96 runs, has 200 hits, leads the club in stolen bases with 40. It's been a big year for Rod Carew from the Panama Canal Zone. The pitch, just inside. Fastball, Carew backing away. Rod's back foot out of the batter's box. He's that deep, trying to get a little extra advantage on Ryan. He is not in the batter's box. 2-2, and Ryan goes to first base, and Bry dances back to the bag. Defensively, Gallagher at third, Chalk the shortstop, Parker at second, McCraw at first, with Berry, Rivers, and Pinson in the outfield from left to right. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball just misses again. So Carew has looked at 2 pretty good pitches, a fastball that was just off the inside edge, and a curveball that just bended its way around the outside corner. And it's now 3-2. Bry goes. The pitch is high, and the Twins have the first 2 men on. Carew walks. Bry goes to second, and with no one out, here's designated hitter Tony Oliva. Torborg goes out to talk with Ryan. We chatted with Nolan before the game tonight, and he said the key to his performance tonight on a very warm late September night in Southern California is his control. He feels he could have a big strikeout night if he can hit the corners. He just missed a Carew and finished with a walk. So the Twins have something going in the early inning. Harmon Killebrew on deck, and Tony Oliva. He said for the first time all season he went without a wrap on that bad right knee of his in the Oakland series. And he said it feels much better. Infield looking for 2. The pitch. Swing, a line drive right over the head of Ryan into center field for a base hit. Around third comes Bry. He will score. And the Twins lead 1-0 on a solid single to center by Tony Oliva. They've had their hitting clothes on, and they come out of swinging against Ryan tonight. That ball came very close to hitting Ryan in the head. He was able to just duck underneath it as it whistled by him out to Mickey Rivers in center field. Carew stopped at second. Killebrew is the batter. The pitch, the double steal is on. A line drive down the left field line. Fair ball. Carew scores easily. Oliva will be able to come home on a double by Killebrew. It is 3-0 Minnesota. all the balls have been hit hard. So Killebrew on the double steal lines one into the left field corner away from Ken Berry. So Carew running on the play, he walked home, and Oliva, even on the bad leg, was able to score all the way from first base. As Carew has his 31st, or Killebrew has his 31st and 32nd RBIs of the season. It's 3-0 Minnesota as Tom Morgan goes to the mound to talk with Nolan Ryan, who has not been able to log an out.
And Dick, even though Nolan Ryan last Sunday against the Twins beat them for his 20th victory in the first inning, he was hit very hard by two of the three men that started out the thing here this evening. Steve Bryce and Richie Scheinblum to the wall in Minnesota after Rod Carew struck out. Then Tony Oliva lined out to Scheinblum, so he's been hit hard in both first innings of his last two outings.
Jim Holt goes after a bad ball, strike one. Ryan not able to throw that fastball by Oliva and Killebrew, that's for sure. Killebrew at second, no one out. The pitch, fastball line foul. What shot down beyond the Angel dugout on the third base side. A low skidding line drive into the crowd. Ryan ahead of Jim Holt, 2 strikes. Holt is batting .296. He's had a solid year. Minnesota team is batting .272, the American League's top hitting ball club, playing for Frank Quillisi. He has been rehired. 2-strike pitch, foul back on the screen. Ryan tried to slip the fastball by Holt and did not. George Mitterwald on deck. Mitterwald enjoying his finest season in the big leagues, .262 average and 16 home runs. Minnesota leads 3-0 in the top of the first inning, no one out, and Killebrew is at second base. Ryan ahead on the count, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Curveball is just a little high. Red Flaherty has put the squeeze on Ryan tonight. That's the third borderline pitch, and they've all gone for ball. 1-2 the count. Ryan checks Killebrew. The pitch. Fastball pounded foul off the fist, rolls into the Angel dugout. First of a 4-game series between the Angels and Twins that will conclude the 1973 season. Twins need just 1 win of the 4 to lock up third place. The 1-2 pitch by Ryan. High, 2-2. And Ryan certainly very human and cognizant of all of the publicity, not only regarding his great pitching, but primarily the strikeouts. Curveball, strike 3 call. That one fooled Holt. While Ryan would like very much to win his 7th straight game, he's already set a new Angel record with his 6 in a row. The fans that are here tonight, and we would guess around 10,000, are here primarily to cheer the strikeouts. He now has 368. The magic number for a tie is 14. George Mitterwald batting .262. Killebrew at second base. Ryan checks, and the pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play. A fastball that Mitterwald hits into the upper deck down the right field line. And, of course, all of the foul balls will be treasured souvenirs tonight, as they will on Sunday, because fans will be able to relate to those who would be interested that it was a ball that was first delivered by Nolan Ryan and finally captured by me, Joe Fan. Mitterwald, 16 home runs, 64 runs batted in. Big year for the catcher from Hayward, California. The pitch. Fastball, and that had plenty on it, but it was too high. 1-1. Tomorrow night, it'll be Dan Fife for Minnesota, either Rudy May or Frank Tanana for the Angels. 1-1 pitch. He did not go around, says Flaherty. First base umpire says, yes, he did. It's 1-2. Flaherty, after Jeff Torborg asked for help, Bill Deegan threw up the right hand and said he went around. And Deegan is answering some verbal volleys from the dugout of the Twins. And Frank Quillisi has gone all the way from the near end of the dugout to the far end to get a closer shot at Deegan. The 1-2 pitch. High. Ryan overthrowing that fastball. They've all been up. 2-2. And he's had some velocity on them. He's trying to get everything he has on each pitch. There's only one more tomorrow for Nolan Ryan, and he'd like to get as much of the job done tonight. That is his goal. The 2-2 pitch to Mitterwald. Too high. So Ryan unable to get the fastball over. He's been upstairs with it, and the count now full. In the inning, a leadoff single by Bry. Carew walked. Oliva singled in 1 run, and Killebrew doubled in 2 more. Holt has struck out, and now it's a 3-2 pitch coming up to George Mitterwald. Here it comes. Curveball gets him swinging. Apparently, Ryan does have a great curve here in the first inning because the men who have tried to hit it have looked rather foolish chasing it. The bottom fell out of that one. 3 runs, 2 strikeouts for Ryan in the first inning. Eric Soderholm hitting .313. Right-handed batter. Like the starting pitcher tonight, Dave Goltz, Minnesota boy. Fastball outside, and the fans are pulling for each pitch, trying to help out Red Flaherty. Ryan working quickly. The pitch, curveball is a beauty. Soderholm was falling out of the batter's box, and that one snapped over. Excuse me, Soderholm, although with a name like Eric Soderholm, he should be from that good Scandinavian Minnesota territory, is not. Goltz, however, is. He's from Pelican Rapids, by golly. Dick Nelson knows where that is. Count is 2-1 now to Soderholm, stocky right-handed batter. 1 home run since being recalled. Killebrew still at second. 3-0 Minnesota. And Ryan steps off the rubber as Harmon had a big lead. Ryan has a sign from Torborg. His 2-1 pitch. Oh, way up over the head of Soderholm. A curveball that slipped out of his grasp. It's 3-1. On deck, left fielder Mike Adams. Twins jump in front, 3-0. Ryan ready. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball is in there. When Ryan gets that fastball in that spot on the outside corner, it almost has a crossfire effect. It seems to be running away from the right-handed hitter. 3-2. Ryan trying to strike out the side. The pitch. Ooh, he fouls that one off the plate umpire Flaherty's mask. That one had to sting. And the veteran umpire takes that iron off and makes sure it's all in one piece before it puts it back in front of that guardian position. A full count on Eric Soderholm with 2 outs in the top of the first. Killebrew at second base. Ryan sets, and the pitch. Curveball bends outside, ball 4. So Ryan has struck out 2 and walked 2 in the first inning and has thrown a lot of pitches already. Mike Adams, the number 8 hitter in the lineup, steps up. He's averaging .232 on the season. Little guy, right-handed batter, but he's got quick hands and looks as if he's going to be a good hitter. Son of former Major Leaguer Bobby Adams. The pitch, check swing foul. Caroms off the press box facing and shoots downstairs. 1 strike on Adams. The Angels and Twins have played at dead even through the first 14 games of this season. Each team with 7 wins. Here at the Big A, Minnesota has the edge, 3-2. Ryan with an exchange of baseballs. Torborg down with a sign. Killebrew from second. Soderholm from first. The pitch. Curveball outside. Broke too much. 1-1. It's basically a right-handed hitting lineup for Frank Quillisi's Twins tonight against the right-hander Ryan. Left-handers are Carew and Oliva and Holt. The pitch. Curve is in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Henry Aaron ran into some tough luck tonight. The game with the Dodgers rained out, and of course that one will not be made up, so he loses 4 more at bats. Ryan knows how that weather action can hurt you. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Ryan gives up 3 runs on 3 hits, leaves 2, and strikes out 3. And after a half inning, Minnesota 3. The Angels against Dave Goltz are coming to bat. First pitch to Mickey Rivers is taken low for a ball. Mickey, with a 10-game hitting streak, needs a hit tonight to tie the longest streak by an Angel all year. Chops this one toward first. Going to be a tough play. Killebrew up with it. The throw to first base is not in time. actually hit Rivers on the foot. I guess that's one way to slow him down, and he goes hobbling down the right field line. Rivers has now hit safely in 11 straight games, tying Sandy Alomar's longest hitting streak of the season, and Mickey's only been here this month. Boy, when he chops one like that, it's almost impossible to throw him out. Commiserates now with John Roseborough as he bends forward, just waiting for the sting of that throw to wear off his ankle. Killebrew trying to fire to the pitcher. Goltz covering, but even had the throw gotten to Goltz's glove, Rivers had beaten the play. Twins lead 3-0, bottom of the first inning. Freddie Federico out there to see two Rivers. Freddie's daughter Rosanna celebrated her 21st birthday yesterday, and we aired and not sending along our best to her. Freddie's certainly one of the super people in baseball. I wish everyone in this ballpark could get a chance to shake the hand of this gentleman from Seattle, Washington. He's loved by all, and the way he hustles off the field is indicative of the kind of spirit he brings to this club. Doggone it, he's the hustlingest trainer in the league. So Rivers okay. Dave Chalk elevated to the number 2 spot in the order as manager Bobby Winkles had to do some last-minute juggling with Bob Oliver suffering from a mild case of the flu. Chalk hitting .236. Right side is open. Rivers leads away. Killebrew holding him on. The pitch. Check swing foul. Frank Robinson on deck. Looking ahead to the second inning, Ryan needs one more strikeout to become the first man in Major League history to strike out 700 in 2 years. Koufax's record has been tied at 699. Ryan needs one to break the consecutive year strikeout mark. Goltz delivers. Low and outside as squaring the bunt was Chalk. Just joined us. Ryan gave up 3 runs before he got an out in the top of the first. Then he struck out the side. Now has 370 for the year, 12 behind Koufax. Goltz straightens, and the pitch. Check swing foul back to the screen. Goltz is 1-1 lifetime against the Angels. Mentioned he's from Minnesota, the 8th native of the state of Minnesota to play for the Twins. Outfield playing Chalk, a shade to pull. Carew and Terrell up the middle looking for the double play ball. Here's the pitch. Outside. Might have been a check swing foul as the ball popped out of Mitterwald's glove, and his actions as he went after it indicative that he's not concerned about Rivers breaking for second, so Chalk must have gotten a piece of it, and the count would remain 1-2. Goltz, a very deliberate workman. It's a warm evening in Southern California. The temperature must be in the 80s at this hour. Chalk waves the wood back and forth. Rivers an easy lead from first. The pitch high and inside. Ball 2, a fastball. Well, Don Drysdale not with us tonight. He and his lovely wife Ginger celebrating their 15th wedding anniversary tonight, and from all of us, the very best to the Drysdales. I understand they gave each other scuba diving equipment and lessons for their anniversary. Line drive right field. That'll be a base hit. Rivers is around second on his way to third. Hope up with the ball. His play is into second base, and the Angels have runners at the corners. So with 2 strikes on him, Chalk shooting that line drive to the opposite field. Here is Frank Robinson as the Angels try to get some of those runs back for Nolan Ryan. Robinson hit his 30th home run last night. He is tied with Jeff Burrows for the runner-up spot to Reggie Jackson of the Oakland A's. Jackson with 32. And Frank, at age 38, is the 4th best RBI man in the year. Jackson, 117. Mayberry with 100. George Scott has 98. And Robbie now with 95. And a chance to pick up at least one in this spot. The infield plays back. They'll give up a run for a double play chance. Goltz delivers. Swing a line drive down the left field line. Foul off the facing of the box seat railing and caroms out into left. Robbie grabs a good handful of dirt out of that batter's box and rubs the palms together. Fixes that helmet atop his head. Tom McCraw on deck. Outfield deep toward left. The ball should carry well tonight. Anything hit in the air is going to get more distance than normal here at Anaheim at night. Rivers at third, Chalk at first. One strike on Robinson. The pitch by Gold. Swing, line drive, base hit, center field. Rivers scores. Chalk holds at second. It's 3-1 Minnesota. Robinson's 96th RBI of the season, and just as it was for Nolan Ryan, Dave Golt's having trouble getting people out. He's given up 3 straight singles.
Number 22.
Robinson needs one more extra base hit to tie Jimmy Fox and Ted Williams, number 8 all time. That RBI ties him with Bob Oliver and Leon Wagner for the most runs batted in a month. That was his 26th in this month of September. So he has finished with a flourish. Now the tying runs on, no one out, runners at first and second. Tom McCraw, the batter, hitting .264. He takes a breaking ball, low ball 1. McCraw, he too has had a good September. .324 in the last 18 games has been his average. Minnesota 3, the Angels 1, bottom of the first inning. Looks like we might be here for a while tonight. Gold straightens. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-0. Well, that heat wave has thrown a curveball at our Big A scoreboard. And it's like someone threw a knife right in the center of that thing. It's thrown up some funny figures tonight. 2-0 the count. The pitch, low, 3 balls, no strikes. Robinson, the tying run at first base. Dave Chalk at second. And McCraw, the hitter, with 3 balls, no strikes. And Frank Quillisi says, get somebody loose in that bullpen. A right-hander gets up to start throwing. Bill Hands, the veteran right-hander, acquired from the Cubs during the offseason. Golt's 3-0 pitch. He walked him. Chalk moves to third, Robinson to second. The bases are loaded, and Frank Quillisi walking to the mound. Quillisi, rehired by Calvin Griffith as the Minnesota Twins manager again in 1974. His team has had some excellent streaks this season and a couple of unbelievably bad streaks. And we asked him about next year and how he will attempt to keep his team away from the losing strings. And he said he felt that the one big need is the bullpen, that his play was sloppy, the team's play was, during those streaks, but primarily the fault was on the bullpen. He used as a case in point, Joe Decker had something like 4 or 5 games in a row where he left with the lead and wound up Minnesota losing the game. So the Twins might be in the market for some relief help. Quillisi leaves. Hands continues to throw. And Vada Pinson is the batter, hitting .262. A halo over every base. McCraw, Robinson, and Chalk. No one out. 3-1 Twins in the first. The pitch. Check swing. Did he go around? Apparently not. Curveball was in. So that's 5 straight balls thrown by Gold. Third base umpire Springstead, as the appeal is made, shakes his head no. He checked back. Infield set for 2. Third baseman Soderholm is back high and well off the line. Killebrew playing behind the runner McCraw as Goltz winds the pitch. Lined out of play into the upper deck. 1-1. Ken Berry would be next. Mickey Rivers started it, legging out an infield chopper. Then hits by Chalk. Robinson, now the walk to McCraw. 1-1 pitch. Fly ball into right center field. Not too deep. Over to get it is Steve Bry. Makes the catch. Tagging is Chalk. Everyone is tagging. Chalk scores, and going to third is Robinson. McCraw holds it first. It's 3-2 Minnesota. So Frank Robinson, showing the hustle of a rookie, advances from second to third. With only 1 out, he's in position to score the tying run on and out as Ken Berry steps in. We pause for station identification. Now we salute all of those youngsters in the Angel organization that are in the Winter Instructional League down in the Phoenix area, listening on KXTC on this, the Angels Radio Network.
And this is KXTC, Glendale, Phoenix, 92.3 FM stereo. Don't miss the action as the Phoenix Suns score for needy youngsters in the season opener against the Seattle Supersonics Wednesday, October 10th. All proceeds from the game go to the Gazette Youth Fund.
Minnesota with 3 in the first. The Angels with 2. Only 1 out. McCraw at first and Robinson at third. Again, the infield plays back. The pitch to Berry. Ground ball right side. That'll get the run in. Carew up with it. Flips the first for the out. It's a tie game at 3. Big play that you won't see in the box score tomorrow. Robinson alertly tagging at second and advancing to third where he could score on that infield shot by Ken Berry. So the Angels, something they've not done much of this year, get 2 runs on outs in this first inning, and we're even at 3. Al Gallagher, the batter. Berry's chopper to the right side did 2 things. It got Robinson in and advanced McCraw, the tie-breaking run, into scoring position. Dirty Al in the lineup. The pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Gallagher hitting .277. Al did not think he'd play anymore this year, or at least start any more games, the way Bob Oliver was going. But with the flu, Dirty Al in there, and a chance to give the Angels the lead. Goltz looks back at McCraw, the pitch. Low with a fastball, 1-1. Yeah, the Twins happy not only about the sweep of the Oakland A's at the Coliseum. They wrapped that up last night, but Bert Blyleven getting his 20th win, again 16 losses, his record identical to that of Nolan Ryan's. The 1-1 delivery. Outside. Nice stop by Mitterwald, 2-1. Blyleven just missed a no-hitter last night. An infield hit. Carew made a diving stop on the outfield grass, but could not throw the Oakland batter out, and that was the only hit off Blyleven, his second one-hitter of the season. 2 balls and a strike on Gallagher. The action pitch coming up. McCraw at second base with 2 outs. Bottom of the first, a 3-3 tie. Ryan struck out the side in the first. Curveball chopped to third. Right there is Soderholm. He fires across for the out, and the inning is over. 3 runs for the Angels on 3 hits. They lead 1, and after 1, the Angels in Minnesota tied at 3. From beautiful Anaheim Stadium on a midsummer baseball night, the Angels and the Twins wrapping up season's play in a wild first inning. Each team getting 3 runs and 3 hits, and Nolan Ryan matching that magic number of 3 as he fanned 3 Twins, and he stands at .699, tied with Sandy Koufax, most strikeouts in consecutive years. No man has ever struck out 700, and Ryan is just a few pitches away. Jerry Terrell starts it off, the number 9 hitter, right-handed batter. The curve ball is just a little inside ball 1. Terrell crowding the plate, backed out of there and didn't miss by much. He's hitting .271, has done a fine job subbing for Danny Thompson, who's had a multitude of injuries this year. 1-0 pitch. Fastball waved at and missed, and that one was by him. You know, Thompson had discovered during the winter that he had a mild case of leukemia that is being treated. That is not the reason he has not been playing. He is healthy. It's been a lot of other problems, muscle pulls and such. Ground ball to the right side. Parker behind second. Fires to first for the out. Good play by Billy Parker. 1 gone. Here's the leadoff man, Steve Bry. He started that 3-run first inning with a base hit to right.
Dick, while the Angels were in Minnesota last weekend, Danny Thompson suffered a broken toe on his right foot during batting practice, so he will be out for the rest of the year, and that is the reason.
And that goes with a groin pull he had in May, and he had a sprained ankle in July. So it's just been a tough year for him all the way around. But Terrell has done an excellent job filling in. Here's Bry, a .259 hitter. The pitch by Ryan, a curve ball, is high, ball 1. Angels baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. Mighty happy to announce their newest wagon, the Vega Estate. 1-0 pitch. Curve ball outside, 2-0. Bry, right-handed hitter, wears twin 1s on his back in red. 2-0 pitch. All the way to the screen off the glove of catcher Jeff Torborg. 3 balls and no strikes. The Phillies got a run in the top of the 13th inning to lead Pittsburgh 3-2. The Mets are not scheduled tonight. So if Pittsburgh loses, the Mets gain that half game and would lead by 1. A victory by Pittsburgh would tie them with the Mets. 3-0 pitch. Channel down the middle, 3-1. Mets are 80 and 78. Pittsburgh 79 and 78 starting this evening. And the Phillies mighty troublesome. 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 called, and that one had a little heat on it. Steve Bry thought it sounded a little outside. Full count to Bry. 1 out, top of the second, a 3-3 tie. Ryan rocks. Here's the pitch. Ground ball by the mound, by Parker into right center field. So Bry hits the ball to the opposite field again for a base hit. The Angels, with Ryan on the mound, playing everyone to hit late. And so Parker was guarding the hole on the right side, and although the ball was really not hit that hard, he could not range that far to his right to make the play. So Bry 2 for 2. And here's Rod Carew, who walked in the first inning. Boys, he had a season again. 200 hits. The pitch, curveball, low ball 1, and he can just hit it anywhere. You have to play him straight away because he'll line one down the left field line just as quickly as he'll pull one into the other corner. The pitch, curveball on the inside edge, 1-1. Carew's got that batting title all locked up, no one close. 1-1 pitch, outside. Here it comes. Curveball up too high, 3-1. Won the title last year with a .318 average. 3-1 pitch, curveball fouled at the plate. Rod's lifetime major league average is .309, and it's higher than that after his big year this season. And he would have won still another batting title had it not been for that knee injury in 1970. He was hitting .366 at the time he was knocked out for the season. 3-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on a miss. Throw to second base. Not nearly in time. In fact, Parker was able to one-hand the ball on the shortstop side of the bag to keep it from going into center field. So Carew strikes out. That is the 700th strikeout for Nolan Ryan. No one in baseball history can make that claim in back-to-back seasons. 700 for Ryan. He now has 371 this year. 11, the magic number to tie Koufax. And they want that baseball as Red Flaherty calls for it and throws it into the Angel dugout. That's another to add to the collection, and the fans without the message board to spell it out for them. Some realize that that is 700 for Ryan.
As you mentioned, the big one, 11 off to tie, and actually a bigger one, the 12th to go ahead, but he is also now only 7 away from his 1,200th career strikeout.
Oh,
it's mind-boggling, really.
He is something. Foul back by Tony O, who nearly beheaded Mr. Nolan Ryan with a line shot single to center field in the first inning to drive in a run. 1 strike on Oliva. Bry has stolen second base. A 3-3 tie. 2 outs in the top of the second. You become a bit jaundiced by Ryan's great strikeout abilities and forget truly what he is doing. The pitch, strike 2 called. A fastball in the inside corner. Two strikes on Tony Oliva. The tie-breaking run, Bry, is out there at second base. Ryan delivers. Oh, a little high, and he had Oliva fooled. Oliva would have been late pulling the trigger on that one. 1-2 the count. Bry at second base. He leads easily away. The outfield playing Oliva not to pull. 1-2 the count. Ryan delivers a curveball. Throw down and miss. Has struck out 5 men in the first 2 innings, and his magic number is now reduced to 10 to tie Sandy Koufax. And after 1.5, a 3-3 tie. Dave Gold, a 3-3 3 tie. Tunes up with George Mitterwald. He'll face Billy Parker, Jeff Torborg, and then the leadoff hitter, Mickey Rivers. Each team with 3 runs in that first inning. Ryan struck out 3 in the first inning and came back to get 2 tough outs, Carew and Oliva, on strikes in the second. So he now has a total of 372 this year and 701 in the last 2 seasons. Oh, my. Billy Parker hitting .215. Last 10 games, Parker hitting .333. Goltz, big right-hander. He takes his time. Ready to work to Parker. Bat right down on the end. High with a fastball. A windup and the 1-0 pitch. Curveball in there, 1-1. You look at the other club records for most strikeouts in a season, then you get some perspective on what Ryan's doing here. 1-1 pitch is waved at and missed. Dave McNally has the Baltimore all-time record for most strikeouts in a season, 202. Ryan now tonight has 372. You go back to 1912 to get the Red Sox pitcher, Smokey Joe Wood, struck out 258, some 115 less than Ryan for the all-time Red Sox record. Ed Walsh for the White Sox, 1908, 269. Fastball knocks Parker down. It's 2-2. Of course, Bob Feller for the Indians at 348 in 1946. Mickey Lolich, the all-time Tiger strikeout pitcher, 308 2 years ago. The pitch, line drive by the glove of Goltz, but picked off by Carew, throws him out. Oh, that ball was hit hard, hit the side of the mound, however, and that kicked it toward the second baseman, Carew, who was able to make the play. One out, Jeff Torborg steps up. He's batting .220. The Kansas City Royals strikeout record held by Bob Johnson. He got 206 3 years ago. Milwaukee's all-timer, 169 by Marty Patton. Minnesota, Dean Chance, when he struck out 234 in 1968. For the Yankees, now that would be an interesting team. The New York Yankees all-time strikeout pitcher, 1904, Jack Chesbro, 240. Low ball 1. Oakland A's or any A's pitcher, including the Philadelphia A's, would be George Ruboidel, 1904. And for the Senators, or now the Texas Rangers, Walter Johnson's best was in 1910 when he struck out 313. So you start tickling your memory with all of the great men who stood out in the middle of that diamond and tried to throw a ball by a hitter, whether it be with a fastball or with finesse. High again, 2-1 to Torborg. And suddenly Nolan Ryan is the best in the American League, and now he is just 10 away from the all-time Major League record. And we'll repeat something we've said before. I think there would be even more drama if we were in any other city in the United States. The memory of Sandy Koufax is much too fresh for all of us here, the great left-hander. Ground ball, one hopper to the third baseman, Soderholm, who throws across for the out, 2 away. By that I mean in Detroit or in Boston or in New York, one of the Midwestern cities that have been with baseball so long, just the fact that they might have a man to set the new American League record would be exciting enough. But Ryan has been pitching in the shadow of a man we all remember very well, fresh in our memory, the great left-hander of the Dodgers, Koufax. Rivers steps in. He beat out an infield hit to start the 3-run rally, the Angels tying it in the first inning at 3. 11 straight games now for Rivers, who takes it outside, ball 1. Rivers with 41 hits this month. That's out of a slightly open stance and a crouch. Goltz delivers. Curve in there. Minnesota got 3 without an out being recorded by Ryan in the first inning. Single by Bry. Carew walked, singled in a run, and Killebrew doubled in the other 2. Strike 2 called. 1-2, a good fastball. The Angels came back on straight singles by Rivers, Chalk, and Robinson. Robinson knocking in the first run. Then McCraw walked to load the bases. Pinson drove in the second run with a sacrifice fly, and Berry knocked in the tying run with the ground out. The pitch, ground ball right side. Rod Carew at the edge of the grass. Quick flip in time for the out. So Goltz gets the Angels on 3 ground balls in the second inning, 1, 2, 3. And after 2, the Angels and the Twins tied at 3. Top of the third inning, the Angels and the Minnesota Twins are tied at 3 here at Anaheim Stadium. And this is Dick Enberg with Dave Niehaus and Dick Nelson from the Big A, hoping you'll be with us. Final 3 games of the season tomorrow night at 8, Saturday night at 7, and 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. And Ryan might well be pitching on Sunday against Minnesota in the finale against Bert Blyleven. To the third, Nolan Ryan ready to work to Harmon Killebrew, and here's Dave.
Hi, Dick. Harmon Killebrew, his first time up, a line double down the left field line that drove in 2. Harmon playing in only his 5th game since knee surgery the day before the All-Star game. He takes a fastball upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. At final, the Phillies beat the Pirates 3-2. That was 13 innings. The next pitch to Killebrew, a curve just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. George Culver, the winner. Zachary took the loss for the Bucks, so the Bucks drop a half notch. The wind in the 2-0 pitch to Harmon Killebrew, a curve very high and inside. 3 balls and no strikes. So Pittsburgh drops 1 full game behind the idle New York Mets in that wide open National League East race. Ryan to the bill of his cap, and the 3-0 pitch now to Harmon Killebrew, a fastball high and inside, ball 4. And on 4 straight pitches, Harmon Killebrew trots down to first base. For Nolan Ryan, that is the 3rd base on ball that he has issued in the ball game, and here is Jim Holt. Holt was the first of Ryan's 5 strikeout victims. Holt struck out his first time up in the first inning. Left-handed batting right fielder, hitting at .296. The pitch to him, a fastball over the outer edge at the knees for a strike call. 0-1. Killebrew, no threat at first base with that bum left knee. Tom McCraw playing behind Harmon. Ryan at the belt. Killebrew just walks off the bag, and the pitch to Holt, swing, and a miss, strike 2. Ryan walks down the front slope of the mound, now back on top. Ryan, a quick worker, is at the belt again. And the 0-2 pitch to Holt, a curve high and outside, 1-2. Ryan again is ready to go to the belt. Does so, checks Killebrew at first. And the 1-2 pitch to Holt, change, strike 3 call. Oh, that's kind of mean to do that to a big left-handed batter. Ryan gave him the big motion and then floated a breaking pitch over the outside edge at the knees. That is number 6. Number 373, 9 away from the tie, 10 away from the record. Second time that he has struck out Jim Holt looking. And here's George Mitterwald. Mitterwald struck out in the first inning. Killebrew with his hands on his hips, anchored at the bag at first. Ryan stretches, and the pitch swung on, ground ball to Parker. Backs up on the ball. He goes to short, and no, he doesn't. He drops the ball as he starts to go to shortstop. And Billy Parker will be charged with an error. So Parker trying to get rid of the ball in a hurry. He did not have to because Killebrew cannot run that well, and as he tried to pluck the ball out of his glove, he dropped it. So it'll be an error on Billy Parker. Mitterwald goes to first, Killebrew to second. And here is Eric Soderholm. The stretch by Ryan. Soderholm walked his first time, and there's a sweeping curve way outside and low. 0-1, or rather 1-0. Of course, for Ryan, not only is he thinking of the strikeouts, but he's thinking in the win column too. And the Angels still with a chance to tie the Twins for third. They would need a sweep of this 4-game series, however. The 1-0 pitch to Soderholm, a curve for a strike. 1-1. 1 man down in the third, a 3-3 tie. The stretch by Ryan and the pitch, fastball high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, one of the most precious ingredients in Bush is time. Time to age naturally, time to create its own natural carbonation. So settle down to the natural one. Settle down to Bush, the beer that brings you baseball. The 2-1 pitch, curve, strike 2 call. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Eric Soderholm. Soderholm hitting at .313. He has 1 home run. He has driven across 9. Killebrew is at second. Mitterwald is at first. Ryan has struck out 6. The stretch, the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3 and strike 2. Ryan again back on top. Soderholm very slightly closed stance. The stretch by Noli. And the payoff pitch, a fastball swung on a ground ball toward short. Chalk's got it. He goes to Parker. Parker's leading to first, a double play. So one more strikeout here in the third. A 6-4-3 double play. Ryan and the Angels are out of it here in the third inning. No runs, no hits, one error, and one left. We go to the bottom half of the third. It's the Angels 3, the Twins 3. In the bottom half of the third, in this 3-3 tie, right-hander Dave Goltz will look at Dave Chalk, Frank Robinson, and Tom McCraw. The Angels 3 runs on 4 hits. The Twins 3 runs on 4 hits. The Angels 3 runs on 3 hits. Both ball clubs picking up all 3 of their runs in the first inning. Dave Chalk, a line drive base hit to right his first time up. David's batting average at .236, and after getting off to a very slow start after being recalled, Chalk has picked up in his batting average. Dave with 5 RBIs. Dave Goltz just stoically staring down to his battery mate George Mitterwald, and the pitch is a curve for a strike. 0-1. Eric Soderholm is at third. Jerry Terrell is at short. Rod Carew is at second. Harmon Killebrew is at first. Goltz, 1-strike delivery. Chalk runs up on it as if to bunt and takes a fastball inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Anaheim resident Mike Adams is in left field. Steve Bry is in center. Jim Holt is around and right. Eric Soderholm looking down. Tall 6'4" right-hander to the wide. To the 1-1 delivery now. Chalk runs up as if to bunt again and pulls the bat back out and takes a good one this time. A curve for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You've just joined us. Nolan Ryan has struck out 6 through 3 innings. He's already eclipsed the Major League record for most strikeouts in 2 consecutive seasons. The 1-2 pitch is a line drive, a little Dyer into center field, will fall in for a base hit, and David Chalk bleeds one, loops it back over the second base bag into center field for his second base hit of the ball game. The hit totals are even at 4, and here's Frank Robinson. Robinson with his 96th run driven in his last time up, and Frank with a good shot at 100 RBIs to go along with at least those 30 home runs. Robinson all of a sudden is very much in that American League home run derby for 1973, resting only 2 behind Reggie Jackson. Chalk, a pretty good lead at first, held on by Killebrew, and the pitch by Goltz to Robinson. His last time up, and Frank with a good shot at 100 RBIs to go along with at least those 30 home runs. Robinson all of a sudden is very much in that American League home run derby for 1973, resting only 2 behind Reggie Jackson. Chalk, a pretty good lead at first, held on by Killebrew, and the pitch by Goltz to Robinson, fastball for a strike. 0-1. Dave Goltz against the Angels this year has no record. He is 1-1 against them career-wise. Throw to first, diving back in on his hands and knees is Dave Chalk. Goltz again turns around and throws to first, and Chalk again dives back in on his hands and knees into the dirt. Harmon Killebrew, there's a chance that the great slugger of the Twins is playing his final 4 games in a Minnesota Twins uniform, and we'll pursue that story in a moment or two. The stretch, 1-strike delivery to Robinson, foul back off the fists onto the screen, 0-2. Calvin Griffith, the president of the Twins, has 2 designated hitters, and both of them carry hefty salaries way over the $100,000 mark. Tony Oliva, of course, much the better average, the 3-time American League batting champion. Harmon Killebrew with a great power. Mr. Griffith is not so sure that he can afford to carry $200,000 designated hitters. The stretch. And the pitch to Robinson. Curve, low and outside. Fake throw to first base by the catcher George Mitterwald. 1-2. Killebrew's name goes with the Minnesota Twins, old Washington Senators franchise, about the way Henry Aaron does with the Braves franchise, but sometimes baseball can be a cruel game. The throw to first base, the throw gets down the right field line, chasing it at second baseman Rod Carew, and while all this happened, Dave Chalk will steam all the way from first to third. So it'll be an error on the pickoff move by Dave Goltz. Twice before, Goltz, before going to the stretch, had flip tossed to first base, trying to get Chalk and Twice he had David diving back in on his hands and knees. This time he tried it and threw it away.
And Chalk did something to show that even though he's a young man, he has learned his baseball lessons well. As he broke for second base, he did not bother to waste time looking where the ball was. He knew he could make it to second, and before he got to second, he was already looking at Parker at third to see whether he should come on, and Parker waved him on, and without hesitation, Chalk made it to third and actually turned third. That's how well he got over there.
And Robinson now with a chance to pick up his 97th RBI. The 1-2 pitch to Frank, a curve outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Frank Robinson. Leaning on the bat in the on-deck circle is Tom McCraw. Goltz just behind the rubber. Now is ready to receive his sign from Mitterwald. Does so. Chalk just a couple of feet down the line from third. The 2-2 pitch to Robinson. A fastball low and outside. Ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Angels with the go-ahead run at third. Nobody out. And the Twins infield playing up, trying to cut off the run. About halfway up, shortstop Jerry Terrell, second baseman Rod Carew, Harmon Killebrew playing even with the bag at first. And just behind the bag at third, Eric Soderholm. Goes with the glove off, now puts it back on. Robinson waits. The wind and the payoff pitch to Frank Robinson, a curve outside, a little change curve, ball 4. So the Angels with runners at first and third, nobody out. Second base on balls given up by Dave Goltz. And here is Tom McCraw. McCraw walked in the first inning. The Angels, after they had given up 3 runs in the top half of the first, came back with 3 of their own very quickly on an infield base hit by Rivers, a base hit by Chalk, a base hit by Robinson. Sacrifice fly by Pinson. The stretch. The pitch to McCraw. Low and inside. Ball 1. 1-0. Begin to stir around down in the Minnesota Twins bullpen now. Right-hander begins to get up and throw. Earlier it had been Bill Hands. Goltz at the belt. 1-0 pitch to McCraw. Outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Twins 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. The Angels 3 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. Center fielder Steve Bry pulled around just a little bit into right center field. Conference at the mound between Mitterwald and Goltz now, with Goltz with his hands on his hips. That'll be broken up. George comes back behind the plate. Tom McCraw hitting at .264. Has hit the ball very well the month of September. Goltz at the belt. The 2-2 delivery. A fastball tapped foul at the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike, I believe the count should be. They have 2-2 on the board. Now the plate umpire corrects the board. It is 2 balls and 1 strike on Tom McCraw. Plate umpire is Red Flaherty. Bill Deegan is at first, Lou DeMuro at second, Marty Springstad around at third. The stretch by Goltz. And the pitch to McCraw, swing and a foul tip at the plate. Gets through the legs of both the catcher Mitterwald and the plate umpire Red Flaherty. Now the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The first of the final 4 of 1973. Goltz on top. McCraw waving a wood back and forth. The Twins will concede the run for the double play. The stretch and the pitch to McCraw. Line drive, base hit, right field. In easy, the score is Chalk from third base. It's 4-3 Angels. Robinson makes a turn at second. Will hold on there. The throw behind him, the shortstop Jerry Terrell trying to get him in the billfold right at second base, but Robinson was already safe at that bag. So Tom McCraw with another line drive base hit, his 24th RBI of the year, and it is 4-3 Angels. Bring along Beta Pinson, who drove in a run his first time up, and before he steps in, we pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network. Frank Quillisi at the mound, chatting. He has a right-hander, Bill Hands, warming up in the bullpen, and I believe he is going to go to the bullpen right now. Dave Goltz has given up 5 hits in the 3+ innings that he has worked. The Angels still have runners at first and second, and he will go to the bullpen. Well, you know, Christmas really isn't that far off. Here we are, the 27th of September. Only 3 months, October, November, December. And for the baseball fan, on your Christmas gift list, you can shop the easy one-stop way with Angels Christmas gift certificates. Certificates are available for any game during the 1974 season, and there'll also be a special 6-game bonus plan to be announced very soon. For complete information about Angels Christmas gift certificates, call the ticket office Monday through Friday from area code 714. You can call 633-2000, or from area 213, you can dial toll-free 625-1123. And remember, the Angels can make your Christmas shopping mighty, mighty easy. So right-hander Dave Goltz will leave, and the big right-hander Bill Hands will come in and take over. Number 17, Bill Hands. Take a look at the scores that we have on an abbreviated baseball evening. The important ones taking place in the National League East, where the Philadelphia Phillies defeated the Pittsburgh Pirates in 13 innings by a score of 3-2. So the Bucks fall 1 full game behind the New York Mets. Pittsburgh now 79-79. The Mets 80-78. In 13, it was the Phillies 3, the Pirates 2. Culver over Zachary. Unser a home run for the Phillies in the first with 1 on. For Dell, that was his 11th. Al Oliver had a home run for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the first with 1 on. That was his 20th of the year. It remained 2-2 through 12 innings, and then the Phillies scored the winning run in the top half of the 13th and won it by a score of 3-2. At Busch Stadium in St. Louis this afternoon, the Cardinals got a 1-hitter from Reggie Cleveland. They beat the Chicago Cubs by a score of 2-0, all but eliminated the Cubs from pennant contention in the National League East. Cleveland, the winner, 14-10. Hooten, the loser, 15-15. The Cardinals are now 2.5 games behind the idle New York Mets. The Cardinals are, however, 3 games back in the loss column behind New York. The Dodgers and the Braves got rained out in Atlanta. As Henry Aaron got rained out of probably 4 at-bats. Look at the American League scores in just a moment as Veda Pinson steps in against right-hander Bill Hands. The Angels with a base hit by Chalk, the throwing error by Goltz, allowing Chalk to go to third. The base on balls to Frank Robinson. The RBI single by Tom McCraw. They have taken the lead 4-3. Robinson at second. McCraw's at first. The pitch by Hands, swing and a miss by Veda Pinson, 0-1. In the American League, the White Sox this afternoon before 1,729 in Chicago in 10 innings. Beat the Kansas City Royals 3-2. Buddy Bradford's home run won it for Chicago. Goltz at the belt. 1-strike pitch now to Veda. Swung on a ground ball toward short. Right there is Terrell. He goes to the bag himself to throw to first for the double play. Terrell was already shaded over toward the bag at second. It was an easy play for him. So the DP going 6-3 with Frank Robinson moving down to third base on the play. And here's Ken Berry. Ken Berry with a high chopper on the right-hand side that drove in Frank Robinson from third, his first time up with the 3rd run of the inning for the Angels. For Ken, that was his 36th RBI. Ken's average standing at 285. The wind and the pitch by Hands, a slider for a strike, 0-1. The Yankees on a 9-hit shutout by Pat Dobson beat the Milwaukee Brewers 2-0. Dobson 9-8. Slayton took the loss for the Brewers, 13-15 for Slayton. The wind by Hands, a 1-strike delivery, drag bunt up third baseline, foul. Third base coach Salty Parker will throw it back to the pitcher Bill Hands. 0-2. Mr. Joe Coleman won his 23rd game of the year for Detroit. Coleman beating the Baltimore Orioles 5-2. Coleman over Garland. Those are all the scores. Berry stands up there with 2 strikes on him. Robinson down the line from third. The wind by Hands, the pitch to Ken, high and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To get back to the plot as we go to the 4th, Nolan Ryan has struck out 6. After the Angels finish with their offensive show here in the top half of the 4th. The wind by Hands and the pitch, a fastball, a ground ball to the right side. Carew gets a nice convenient hop. flips over to Harmon Killebrew, and the Angels are gone in the third. For the Californians, 1 run on a couple of base hits, 1 error, and the Angels leave 1. And the score after 3, it's the Angels 4, and the Twins have 3. Nolan Ryan just arriving at the pitching mound as we're set for the bottom half, or rather the top half of the 4th inning. Nolan with 6 strikeouts, perhaps taking it easy back in the players' lounge, with the Angels showing a rather long half inning in the bottom half of the 3rd. So he is just finishing up his warm-up tosses with Jeff Torborg. In the 4th, he'll look at Mike Adams, Jerry Terrell, and Steve Bry. The Angels 4 runs, 5 hits. The Twins 3 runs on 4 hits. Mike Adams, his first time up, struck out against Nolan Ryan. He struck out to end the first inning. Mike wears number 25 on the back of his blue traveling devil mitts for the Minnesota Twins. Ryan tugs at the bill of his cap, goes into the wind, and a pitch to Adams outside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. The Twins this year drawing just over 900,000. 1-0 pitch. Way outside. Nolan Ryan again overthrowing a fastball, 2-0. But for Minnesota, it was a year that saw them draw a little over 100,000 more than they did in 1972. The line and the 2-0 pitch to Mike Adams, a fastball, a big rip and a miss, and the batting helmet pops off the head of young Mr. Adams. Adams hitting at .232. He has 3 home runs. He has driven across 6. Ryan waiting for Adams to get back in. He does so. Ryan's 2-1 delivery now. Fastball, another rip and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan with 6 strikeouts, 373. Adams steps back in. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Mike Adams. A fastball, strike 3 called at 374. Nolan Ryan 8 away from the tie, 9 away from the record.
Well, he cut the plate in half with that fastball. I think Adams was looking for that big bender, the yellow hammer, and got the good fastball.
Looking for the hammer, and he got the express. Here is Jerry Terrell, who grounded out to second baseman Billy Parker his first time up. Alan Gallagher in on the grass at third. This is a good ball club for Nolan Ryan to be pitching against for strikeouts. Curve, beautifully thrown. What a hook that was. 0-1 to Jerry Terrell. Ryan again right back to the plate, wasting no time. This time he gets the express, and it's fouled back. 0-2 on Jerry Terrell. Terrell hitting at .271. The wind and the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 called. There is 375.
And Don Drysdale, in the top 10 all-time strikeouts lifetime, deserves a little piece of credit for that one, because he had noticed during the course of the year, every time that Ryan went to the crossfire, he always threw the curve, never threw the fastball, so the hitters knew the curve was coming. And that time, no curveball, a fastball, and strike 3 called.
Steve Bry is 2 for 2 against Nolan Ryan. The wind and the pitch. Slider just outside. 0-1, or rather 1-0. 1 ball and no strikes to Bry. Bry twice has hit the ball to the right side, through for base hits. The 1-0 pitch. There's the curve. Strike called, and he has the crackling curveball tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bry kind of backing away, and he bowed to the wishes of the curve. The 1-1 pitch. There's the curve again, just low. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Steve Bry. Ryan, little meditation walk behind the grass on the back slope of the mound. Now back on top, rubbing up the baseball all the while, tugging at the bill of the cap. The 2-1 delivery now to Bry. A fastball foul back on the screen. Ryan, after giving up the 3 runs in the first, struck out the side in the first, and he is 1 strikeout away, 1 strike away from striking out the side here in the 4th. He has 8. Ryan again is ready. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Steve Bry. Curve high and inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ralph Rowe coaching down at third for Minnesota with his hands on his hips over at first. Vern Morgan. Ryan again rubbing up a new wrinkle in the baseball. Count 3 balls and 2 strikes on Steve Bry. Nolan with 375, and here she comes. Swing and a miss. He struck out the side. There's 376, and the record now very much in focus for Nolan Ryan on this night. As that is 9, he is only 6 strikeouts away from tying Sandy Koufax's record, 7-4, the record all alone. 9 strikeouts in the game through 4 innings for Nolan Ryan. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Angels 4, the Twins 3. The fans still a buzzing at Nolan Ryan's strikeout performance so far. Through 4 innings, he has struck out 9. He has 15 more outs to get 6 strikeouts for a tie, 7 strikeouts for an all-time record. Alan Gallagher leads it off for the Angels in the bottom half of the 4th and takes a fastball for a strike. The right-hander Bill Hand. No balls and 1 strike. Gallagher, his first time up, grounded out to third to end the first. Hands winds and a 1-strike delivery to Gallagher. Ground ball to third again. Right there is Soderholm. He throws high to Killebrew. Throw to first, not in time. It pulls Killebrew off the bag. Harmon out toward the right field side of the bag. He had to go up the ladder to get it. It'll be an error on third baseman Eric Soderholm. That'll bring along Billy Parker. Soderholm with all the time in the world, but he had Killebrew about 5 or 6 feet headed toward right field, right down the line. Killebrew trying to get back to the bag in time to get the tag on Gallagher, but couldn't do it. Billy Parker grounded out to second his first time up. Billy hitting at .215. It's a 4-3 ball game, Angels, but that is not really the story. Nolan Ryan with 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. The stretch by Hand. And the pitch to Parker. Way outside with a breaking pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Angels baseball is brought to you by Continental Airlines, where every flight is a flight to remember. The people at Continental take a personal interest in you each time you fly, so you remember your trip for a long time after you're home. It's a special way to fly. And only on Continental Airlines, the proud bird with the golden tail. Hands at the belt. 1-0 pitch to Parker. Strike. Just right up around the shoulders of Billy Parker. Red Flaherty throwing up the right hand. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gallagher is at first. A 4-3 ball game, Angels. Killebrew holding Gallagher on at first. Hands at the belt. Token toss to first. Gallagher diving back in on his hands and knees. Allen will not wipe off that dirt. That's part of his uniform when he's playing. Stretch. 1-1 pitch to Parker. Swing and a miss. A big rip right up around the eyes of Bill. 1-2. Bill Hands has been somewhat of a disappointment to the Twins this year, coming over, figured to move into the starting rotation, but he has won 7 and he has lost 10. The stretch and the pitch to Parker way inside. A little chin music to Mr. Parker that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hands has started 15 games for the Twins this year. This is his 39th appearance of the year. Earned run average of 3.61. And the pitch to Parker. Swung on a ground ball toward short. Right there is the shortstop, Terrell, to step on the bag at second. Throw to first for the easy double play. And for the Twins, they pull off their second 6-3 Twin killing. Jerry Terrell to Harmon Killebrew. 2 down. And here's Jeff Torborg. Jeff Torborg catching so many of Sandy Koufax's games, a chance again to be a part of Major League history as he is behind the plate catching Nolan Ryan tonight. Hands a deep breath into the wind, and the pitch to Jeff. Fastball on a ground ball toward the hole. Over there to plug it up is Terrell. He's got it. The long throw high again, but Killebrew up with the letter this time to pull it down. So the Angels gone in the fourth. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. And after 4, the Angels 4 and the Twins have 3. Fifth inning of play. Again, for more play, here's Dick.
All right, Don, Dave. Sorry, I was thinking about Don also. 376 strikeouts for Ryan, 6 shy. And he's off to a tremendous start tonight. He faces Rod Carew here in the fifth. The pitch. High and away, ball 1. Jeff Torborg behind the plate. Gallagher, Chalk, Parker, and McCraw in the infield. Berry, Rivers, and Pinson in the outfield. Ryan rocks back, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball. Carew walked and scored in the 3-run first inning for the Twins. He struck out swinging in the second. Well, the fans tonight came with fingers crossed that they might see Ryan break the record tonight, but really, realism said, nah, it'll be Sunday. The pitch, strike 2 call. But you can tell from their reaction after he struck out the side in the 4th inning to get 9 in the first 4 innings. They're thinking now, as everyone else is, that this could be the night he becomes the all-time Major League strikeout pitcher. He's just broken one after another. 1-2 pitch. High. Fastball. Oliva and Killebrew to follow in the Minnesota 5th inning. Ryan walks down the back slope of the mound, rubbing up the baseball. The outfield, they've been spectators this far in the ball game. With the exception of fielding the base hits, they have not had a putout. The windup and the 2-2 pitch. High, and he blistered that one in there, but around the bill of the helmet of Carew. Perhaps to settle an argument or two between Angel and Dodger fans, or Ryan and Koufax fans. First, the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 10 strikeouts for Ryan as Carew chased a bad ball. A fastball sailing up and away. 377. He's 5 away from Koufax. When Koufax set the Major League record of 382 strikeouts in 1965, he had 40 starts. This is Ryan's 39th tonight. His 40th would be on Sunday.
Now, Dick, of course, with that strikeout of Rod Carew, Nolan Ryan again adds to his already Major League total. That is the 23rd time that he has struck out 10 or more men.
That is amazing. 1 out in the 5th inning. Ryan has 10 already. Oliva up to pitch, high and outside, and Ryan just thrusting all 195 pounds toward the plate on every pitch. 26 years old, and sometimes you figure the pop of that mitt can be heard all the way down to Texas. And now a proud son of Southern California. The pitch. Swing and a foul tip. And Oliva spins around in the batter's box going after that fastball. The crowd cheering every pitch now. And we got a lot of time to go. This could be one of the exciting nights of the season here at the Big A. Reacting now to the note that Dave gave you, 23rd time this year Ryan has struck out 10 or more to extend his Major League record for the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan winds, delivers. Line drive, base hit up the middle. So Oliva twice has hit that fastball on a shot right back past Nolan Ryan. That ends the string of 4 straight strikeouts. Oliva with his second hit after he struck out in the second. And here's Harmon Killebrew. He doubled in 2 runs in the first inning and was safe at first. He walked in the 3rd and safe at second on an error in the 3rd. So Harmon 1 for 1. Infield will align itself for 2. The game score seems almost incidental at the moment. It's the Angels 4, Minnesota 3. Each team scored 3 times in the first inning. The pitch, fastball, swung on and missed. Right into the power of Killebrew. Jim Holt, who has struck out twice, is on deck. Ryan wastes no time. He sends it back. Change is up and in. He pulled a string on a fastball, and it just missed. Lots of folks trying to help Red Flaherty now. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 1 run lead for Ryan. The pitch, swing and a miss. Power against power. The fastball was by Killebrew. Nolan reaches down, throws some pebbles off the front slope of the mound. Nolan drives toward the batter or toward home plate so vigorously that he wears out the toe of that shoe and has had a blister throughout his pitching career. He just wears on the right toe as he follows through. The 1-2 pitch. Foul back as Killebrew nipped that one enough to spoil strike 3. 1-2, and Ryan thinking about every pitch. He takes a slow walk around the first base side of the mound, now up on top. 1-2. We'll let the crowd call this pitch. Here it comes. A curveball strikes out Killebrew. That's the 11th for Nolan Ryan. Nolan now has 378 strikeouts. He is only 4 away from Koufax, and now it is a very real possibility, and everyone cognizant of the fact that they may be sitting in tonight on the all-time single-season Major League record for strikeouts. The pitch to hold is outside, ball 1. Ryan off to a tremendous start. He struck out the side in the first, got 2 in the second, 1 in the third, struck out the side in the fourth, and he struck out 2 here in the fifth. He won't get hold, who pops it up. Chalk on the outfield grass is under it, makes the catch, and the inning is over. I had the feeling that some of the fans were asking Chalk not to catch the ball. Well, that's not really in the spirit of things, although we can understand folks here wanting to see the record. Ryan, nevertheless, has the side out in the fifth inning, strikes out 2, allows 1 hit, and leaves 1. And at the halfway mark in this one, 4.5 innings in the book. Angels lead 4-3, and Ryan has 11 strikeouts. He needs just 4 more to tie Koufax and 5 to set the record. Bill Hands on the mound in relief of starter Dave Goltz. He faces the top of the order, Mickey Rivers, 1 for 2. Right-hander delivers, a strike. Nolan Ryan with 11 strikeouts in the first 5 tonight. An excellent chance of setting the mark this evening, and certainly he's right there on the doorstep in case he misses tonight. Swing and a miss by Rivers at 0-2. And even with the 2 days rest, regardless of what happens in the final 4 innings tonight, he'll be just a handful away from Koufax if he goes Sunday. 2 strikes on Rivers. Hands winds, the pitch. Inside with a fastball. The 1-2 pitch. Rivers swings and nubs one back a second. Crew going out. In comes Holt. It is Holt who makes the catch on the run. Little soft fly off the fists of Rivers, and Holt able to come in and squeeze it for the first out. Dave Chalk is 2 for 2, and he scored 2 runs tonight. First, we pause for station identification from Anaheim Stadium. This is the Angels Radio Network.
And this is KXTC, Glendale, Phoenix, 92.3 FM stereo.
The pitch to Chalk is, he tried to bunt and misses it, strike 1. 1 strike on Dave Chalk as he is going to try to bunt his way on. Bill Hands on the mound. Here's the pitch. Ooh, right up over the helmet of Chalk and by the glove of Mitterwald to the screen. 1-1 to the young Angel shortstop. Frank Robinson to follow. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Angels 4 runs, 5 hits. The Twins 3 runs, 5 hits. But the story, Ryan has 11 strikeouts. Line drive down the left field line, hooking, foul by about 5 feet. So Chalk misses a double by just that margin. You can see Dave feeling his maturity as a big league prospect with each plate appearance. He looks more confident, swinging that bat better and better. And certainly has done some fine work in the field. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. 1 out, no one on. Bottom of the 5th inning. The veteran Hands getting a sign from Mitterwald. Says yes to the sign. Chalk up on the handle of the bat. Here's the pitch. Outside with a big breaking ball. 2-2. Hands and Decker coming to Minnesota in the deal with the Cubs last winter when Dave LaRoche went to Chicago. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball. That strikeout for Bill Hands is his first and the first of the night for Minnesota pitching. Frank Robinson, RBI single in the first, scored himself, and he walked in the 3rd inning. And 6'2" and 190. He's a New Jersey boy. The pitch swung on, a chopper to short. Third baseman at Soderholm in front of the shortstop, throws high, but in time for the out as Killebrew has to go up the ladder and spear it and come down in a hurry to get the put out. So Hands retires the Angels in order in the 5th inning. We go to the 6th. Angels 4, Minnesota 3. 5-inning totals. Angels 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. They've left 2. Minnesota 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Have stranded 5. Nolan Ryan has walked 3, and he has struck out 11 batters through the first 5 innings. He has 378 strikeouts this season, just 4 shy of the Major League record. George Mitterwald, Eric Soderholm, and Mike Adams in the Minnesota 6th inning. Mitterwald has struck out and safe on Parker's error. Pitch by Ryan. Fastball, strike called on the outside corner. Ryan gets it back and fires. Curveball, strike 2. Mitterwald's got 2 strikes on him in about 10 seconds. And now he backs out of the batter's box. He said, "Gee, I at least want my time in the center circle here." You can hardly blame him. If he'd allowed Ryan to throw that next one and it had been a strike, he would have taken the fastest walk to home plate and back maybe in history. Ryan just getting the ball and just throwing it. The windup and the 2-strike pitch. Curveball bounced to third. Gallagher up with it. Bare hands, throws over the head of McCraw all the way into the crowd on the fly. And to second base goes the tying run, Mitterwald. Gallagher threw the ball not just against the box seat railing, all the way into the crowd. And Mitterwald gets 2 bases on the air. So the tying run in scoring position, and Eric Soderholm is the batter. That one landing in the seats down beyond the Minnesota dugout, about 9 or 10 seats in the first row. Soderholm has walked and grounded into a double play. Angels got 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning after the Twins got 3 in the top of the first. Soderholm hits this one into the upper deck off to the right, and a good catch made by a fan. Angels baseball brought to you by Chevrolet. Take yourself out to the ball game in a Chevrolet Chevelle. Strong in ride and handling, quick, responsive, and smooth. Chevelle Malibu, Chevelle Laguna, they're great to drive. Curveball low and outside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mitterwald, with no one out, stands at second base, a 4-3 Angel lead. The pitch, fastball hit in the air to right field. That should get Mitterwald to third. He's tagging his Pinson circles, makes the catch near the foul line. Mitterwald on his way to third. The long throw is cut off by Chalk as Mitterwald goes in standing. So a 2-base throwing error by third baseman Al Gallagher and a long fly to right. And the Twins can score the tying run on and out. The Twins could care much less about Nolan Ryan's strikeout performance. They would like to get a win tonight and know they have third place clinched in the American League West. Adams has struck out twice, swinging and called, facing Ryan tonight. Infield plays halfway with 1 out, trying to hold Mitterwald at third. Outfield toward right for Adams. Now Gallagher, Chalk, Parker, and McCraw in close. The pitch. Strike, fastball. Ryan is using the windup. Looks over at Mitterwald as he gets the sign from catcher Jeff Torborg. Still staring in, much more deliberate now. Now he nods yes. Sweeps into the windup, kicks and deals. Fastball too low, and then a good stop made by Torborg is down on those knees to protect that one from going through. 82 degrees as this game started tonight. Nearly October, but it's a warm summer eve in Southern California. And Ryan with his fastball making it hotter for the Twins. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, too high. 2 balls and a strike. Jerry Terrell on deck. Ryan has at least 1 strikeout in every inning tonight and struck out the side in the first and the fourth. A total of 11. Mitterwald down the line from third. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball is outside, and again a good stop by Torborg as that one bounced in. 3-1 to Mike Adams, the left fielder. hitting .232 with 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. He's been with the club all season long, but hasn't played much. Been up only 56 times. But shows surprising power for his size. 3-1 delivery. Hit foul into the upper deck. A fastball. Tranquility has announced that he will use one less coach next year, with Red Worthington, the pitching coach, taking a college coaching job, and ex-Angel Bob Rogers will become both the pitching and bullpen coach. The 3-2 pitch. Foul back. That one sailing into the lower press level, one of the executive booths off to the right, Mr. Autry's booth. Well, that seems only fair that the chairman of the board and his guests should have a souvenir of this night. Touch of class by Mr. Adams there at the plate. 3-2, 1 out, Mitterwald at third, and here's the pitch. Just outside. A fastball misses. So Adams walks on that 3-2 delivery, the 4th free ticket offered by Ryan tonight, and Jeff Torborg calls time and goes out to the mound. Jerry Terrell has grounded out and took a 3rd strike. Right-handed batter, way up on the handle, tough to throw the fastball by him. Adams from Anaheim, and Terrell from the San Fernando Valley. Makes his home in Reseda. Runners at first and third, 1 out, 4-3 Angels here in the top of the 6th inning. Ryan delivers a curveball, bunted foul. It was a safety squeeze. Mitterwald was not racing in from third. He's going to make sure that bunt was down before he made his break.
Dick, we can't help but sit back here and think as we look at Nolan Ryan about that rain in Kansas City. Had it not been for that, he and Koufax would be tied right this very second.
And, of course, he was denied, 4 more innings of pitching?
That's right.
Fans might be thinking about 400 strikeouts this year. The pitch. Strike. A fastball at the knees. Gets away from Torborg, but not very far, and the runners have to hold. So twice Terrell going to bunt. Once he did foul, and that one he took low at the knees for a strike. Ryan, pitch away from a dozen strikeouts. Adams at first, Mitterwald at third, 1 out. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded to the right side and through into right field. The run scores. There goes Adams around second, and he holds as Pinson comes up with the ball, and the game is tied. Yep, Terrell, he doesn't get that fastball thrown by him very often. He just shot it right through the gap on the right side of the infield to tie the ball game up. So the error pays off on the unearned run. The Twins tie it up at 4 apiece. Terrell's 32nd RBI this year. Runners at first and second, and Steve Bry, 2 for 3 in the game, is the batter. Right-handed hitting center fielder. Pinson playing shallow in right field, so Adams could not advance to third. Curveball called strike, hit the outside corner. So Ryan, for the first inning in the game, does not appear overpowering with his pitches, and this has happened often, especially about this time. 5th, 6th, 7th innings of games pitched by Nolan. Fastball fouled out of play, and again he has 2 strikes on a batter. However, he had 2 strikes on Soderholm before he flied out. He had 2 strikes on Adams before he walked, and he had 2 strikes on Terrell before he singled. Rod Carew on deck, a 4-4 tie, 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch from the side. Oh, a great backhanded stop by Torborg. He had to throw his body outside, and the fans applaud his effort. Ryan side-armed that curveball up there and made sure to keep it away, but it started outside and kept breaking farther away, and Torborg had to do a 3-quarter dive into the dirt to backhand it. Runners at first and second, the 1-2 pitch. Curveball grounded up the middle. Could be 2. Chalk flips to Parker. Parker back to first. A double play. The inning is over, and for the first time tonight, Ryan does not get a strikeout. 1 unearned run on 1 hit and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th, a 4-4 tie. Bottom of the 6th inning we go, a 4-all tie. Tom McCraw, Vada Pinson, and Ken Berry try to get the Angels back to run, as Dave Goltz, the starting pitcher from Minnesota, is taken off the hook. with the unearned run scored in the top half of the inning. It belongs now to Bill Hands, who gets ready to work to McCraw, who has walked and singled in a run. Tommy has exploded in the second half of the season. He's raised that average up to 264. Takes it high and off the glove to Mitterwald all the way to the screen. So Nolan Ryan tonight has become the first Major League pitcher in history to strike out over 700 batters in back-to-back seasons. Koufax's record was 699. And now Nolan with 378 this season, 4 behind Sandy's record. 1-0 pitch. McCraw hits one down the left field line, slicing away from Adams, who races to the chalk, to the warning track, and makes the catch. A good play by Adams as he braced himself against the box seat railing. McCraw fouls out to left. Right fielder Vada Pinson steps up. Pinson has driven in 1 run with a sacrifice fly and grounded into a double play. Right-hander Hands against left-hander Pinson. The outfield plays Vada shade to pull. Killebrew guarding the line at first base, and Carew on the edge of the outfield grass at second. High fly ball to left. This is routine for Adams. Coming in on it, Terrell goes out and gives way, and Adams makes the play. 2 outs. So 2 pitches, 2 outs for Bill Hands, and here comes Ken Berry. He is not going to run with a ground ball out. He's 0 for 2. Angels 4, Minnesota 4. Each team with 2 errors. Twins have out hit the Angels 6-5. Hands toes the rubber, winds the pitch. Slider hits the corner. Strike call. Fife against either May or Tanana tomorrow night. Singer goes Saturday night, and Ryan possibly on Sunday. Inside, 1-1. Aurelio Montegudo begins to throw in the Angel bullpen. Ryan must be over 100 pitches already. He was in the high 60s after 3 innings. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball pulled foul past third and backhanded by Soderholm. The count is 1-2 on Ken Berry. Now, you certainly have to consider Nolan Ryan for the Cy Young Award this year. He has not had much flack, much publicity for it, but I would guess he'll get some votes. 1-2 pitches fouled out of play. Several 20-game winners: Palmer, Blue, Hunter, Holtzman, Colburn, Splittorff, Joe Coleman of the Tigers, Wilbur Wood, Bert Blyleven, Bill Singer, the Angels hope on Saturday night, and Gaylord Perry has 19 wins. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to center. Over goes the center fielder Bryan to right center to make the catch, and for the second straight inning, Bill Hands has the Angels down in order. We go to the 7th, a 4-4 tie. From Anaheim Stadium, Dick Enberg with Dave Niehaus and Dick Nelson. Mighty happy you joined us. Nolan Ryan with 11 strikeouts through 6 innings, involved now in a 4-4 tie. We go to the 7th, and more play. Here's Dave.
Dick Rod Carew, who has struck out twice and 3 trips to the plate against Nolan Ryan, leads it off, takes a fastball, or rather swings and fouls back a fastball up against the screen for a strike. 0-1. Rod became Nolan's 4th and 10th strikeout victim. The last man to strike out against Ryan was Harmon Killebrew back in the 5th. In the 6th, the only inning in which Ryan did not strike out a man. Wine and the 1-strike pitch, a fastball low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carew 0 for 2. Rod steps back out. Ryan likes to work in that fast fashion. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2 call. Curve over the inside edge. Carew has struck out 8 times against Nolan Ryan this year. Ryan winds. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Rod Carew. A fastball high and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch to Rod Carew. A curve just inside. Red Flaherty gave it that extra long peak. and said no. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan really wanted that one. He stares back down to the redhead, who doesn't have too much red in the hair anymore. It's mostly silver. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan is ready for the payoff pitch to Rod Carew, and here she comes. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball. Hey, struck him out. .379. 3 away from the tie. 4 away from the record. That is number 12 for Nolan Ryan tonight. Tony Oliva has singled twice in 3 trips to the plate against Nolan Ryan. He struck out the other time. Tony O digging himself a foothold with that left foot, calling time to make sure that Ryan's not going to fast pitch him. Into the wind, and Nolan's pitch is a fastball high and tight. He's going to fast pitch him whether he steps in or not with fastballs, I would imagine, although Tony Oliva, usually you try to keep the breaking pitch low and in on this great hitter from Cuba. And he got the fastball the first time. 1 ball and no strikes. Ryan bends deep, checks with Torborg. The 1-0 pitch to Tony O. Change curve inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Bush is naturally aged and naturally carbonated. It's brewed with the finest of natural ingredients because that's the way to make a better beer. So settle down to the natural one. Settle down to Bush. And remember that Bush is the beer that brings you baseball. Right-hander Bill Campbell warming up for the Minnesota Twins in their bullpen. The wind and the 2-0 pitch to Tony Oliva. Low and inside, ball 3. 3-0. Ryan waiting for Oliva to get back in. A 4-4 tie. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball inside, ball 4. Nolan Ryan with his 5th base on balls, and here's Harmon Killebrew. Harmon has struck out once in 3 trips to the plate against Nolan Ryan. He doubled in 2 in the first, walked in the third. Ryan has struck out Bry once. He has struck out Rod Carew 3 times. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Killebrew, a swing and a miss. 0-1. Struck out Tony Oliva once. Killebrew once. Jim Holt twice. Mitterwald once. Mike Adams twice. The stretch and the pitch to Killebrew. Strike 2 call. Curveball. Inside corner. 0-2. And he has struck out Jerry Turrow once. A total of 12. If he can strike out Harmon Killebrew, that would be number 380. The stretch. Here is the pitch to Killebrew, a fastball. Hey! Struck him out. There is 380. He challenged Killebrew with his best fastball right where Harmon likes it, right up around the eyes, and he threw it right by him. Harmon Killebrew becomes strikeout victim number 380. The stretch. Here's the pitch to Holt, a swing and a miss.
Boy, if he should strike out the side in this 7th inning, they'll give him a standing ovation all the way into that dugout. Now they're all in it.
Holt waving the whip back and forth. Oliva is at first. Here's the stretch by Nolan. The 1-strike delivery, a fastball, strike 2, swing and a miss. Nolan 1 strike away from being 1 strikeout away from Koufax's all-time record. And a chance to strike out the side for the 3rd time in this game. The stretch, the 2-strike pitch. Just low and outside, and Red Flaherty really did want to come up with that right arm. He did kind of a sidestep to the left, and at the last moment said no, it was just low and outside. 1-2. Oliva just stationed at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive left field. That'll fall in for a base hit. Oliva will advance as far as second, so after going 1-2 on Holt, Nolan comes in with a slow curveball that hangs over the outer edge, and Holt goes to left field with it. So here's George Mitterwald. A 4-4 tie. Nolan Ryan has thrown a lot of pitches.
Something else, Dave, that naturally we would all overlook, but indeed is a possibility, is the American League single-game strikeout record at 13. He's just 5 away from that.
That's right. The stretch. And the pitch. Change. Nicely thrown, 0-1. Also, Dick, I don't know how long they would let Nolan go, but there would be a distinct possibility if things continue the way they are going that we might go into extra innings.
I don't know how much rubber's left in that arm of his, though.
The stretch. And the 1-strike pitch. Strike 2 called over the outer edge. Again, Ryan with a 2-strike advantage on a hitter. Ryan tugs at the bill of the cap. Well, let the crowd tell you this one. The 2-strike pitch. Nolan Ryan is 1 strikeout away from Sandy Koufax's record. He has struck out 14 in this ball game. He has struck out the side again. A standing ovation for the young man from Alvin, Texas, as he disappears into the Angels dugout along the third base line. Baseball history could be made in the top half of the 8th inning. After 6 1/2, we have a 4-4 tie. Go to the bottom half of the 7th. Well, I know, selfishly speaking, Mr. Richard Enberg, a lot of people here would like to see Nolan Ryan break the record tonight, and you, selfishly, have to be pulling for him because you are not going to be here Sunday.
That's right, and I must say this now, that Nolan Ryan told me tonight, don't worry about it, I'm going to go after it this evening.
All right. Here is Alan Gallagher in this 4-4 tie. The pitch swung on and a high fly ball to right field. In on the ball is Holt. Out is second baseman Carew, and it's Holt for the catch. 1 down.
What did they call that in a ballet or in an opera when the whole storyline is interrupted just to allow you a chance to pull back and enjoy a divertissement? This is what the top half of the innings are for Nolan Ryan tonight. You kind of just need to relax and wait for his turn to go out on the mound.
Here is Billy Parker. Parker has grounded out to second and bounced into a double play. Right-hander Bill Hands into the wind, and the pitch swung on, line drive, base hit, right center field over the outstretched glove of Rod Carew. So while the Angels, fans at least, are waiting for Nolan Ryan to make the appearance, the Angels trying to get him the go-ahead run here in the 7th with a 1-out single by Billy Parker. A 4-4 tie. The Twins 4 runs, 7 hits. The Angels 4 runs, 6 hits. In regulation time, the Twins have 6 outs against Nolan Ryan, and Ryan has already struck out 14. The American League record, single game, 18. The National League record, 19. And Ryan most definitely has a shot at both tonight. Ryan in his no-hitter against Detroit, striking out 17, the most ever struck out in a no-hit game in his no-hitter. The stretch now by Bill Hands. Throw to first. Back in time is Billy Parker. Hands at the belt. And a throw to first base again on his hands and knees. Parker this time. Time is called as Parker gets back up. Time called by Bill Deacon. Umpiring down at first. We have a 4-4 tie. Nolan Ryan has struck out 381 batters this year. 14 in the game. He is 1 strikeout away from Sandy Koufax's mark. The stretch. And the throw to first. Again back in on his hands and knees is Parker. Hands just staring over there as Harmon Killebrew does a little house cleaning after Parker had dived back in on the bag, and Billy himself trying to get off some of the Anaheim Stadium real estate from his double-hit uniform. The stretch by Hands. And again a throw to first. This time Parker back in standing up. Hands getting a little impatient with Mr. Hands. The pitch to Torborg. Swing and a miss at a slider. Nicely thrown by Bill. 0-1. Nolan Ryan in his 41st start of the year attempting to break Koufax's record. Koufax established his mark after 43 starts. The stretch. And a 1-strike delivery swung on a ground ball towards short. Terrell has it. He goes to second for 1. Carew's really at first in time for the double play. And now we go to the top half of the 8th in what could be a most historical half inning for all of baseball. The DP turned 6-4-3. No runs, a base hit, no errors, nobody left, and after 7, it's a 4-4 tie. After 7, a 4-4 tie. The Angels 4 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. The Twins 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Will this be the inning? Nolan Ryan 1 strikeout away from Koufax's all-time mark of 382, 2 strikeouts away from standing alone. Dick Enberg will tell you the story as we go to the 8th.
All right, Dave. Eric Soderholm steps up first. He is the only man that Ryan has not struck out tonight. He has walked, grounded into a double play, and flied to right field. A young right-handed batter hits out of a closed stance. Ryan and everyone in the ballpark know the story. The pitch. Fastball fouled out of play. Strike 1. The crowd, as Ryan came out to pitch or take his position on the mound to warm up, gave him a standing ovation. The scoreboard, the Big A scoreboard, inoperative earlier in the game, has been working since about the 3rd inning. The pitch. In the dirt, 1-1. And as Ryan has struck out each Minnesota batter, 14 tonight, the scoreboard has electronically erased those strikeouts between Ryan and Koufax. Fastball misses a little low, and Torborg holds the ball right there. Red Flaherty, one of the few people in the ballpark not caught up in the spirit of things. 2 balls and a strike. Soderholm the hitter. Ryan rocks. Here's the pitch. Fastball is fouled back. 2-2. Ryan stands 1 pitch away from moving up shoulder to shoulder with the ace left-hander of the Dodgers, Sandy Koufax. 381 and 2/3 strikeout. Soderholm heaves a deep sigh. He knows, too, where he stands, perhaps, in history. Ryan has his sign. He winds. Here's the pitch. Swung on and line. Foul down the right field line and out of play. He hit it on the nose. A fastball. If Ryan sets the record tonight, 9,100 fans will see it. That's the crowd this evening, 9,100, although it appears to be more than that tonight. I think many folks did not figure on it happening this evening and were waiting until Sunday. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Soderholm. Ryan winds. Here's the pitch. Curveball is too high. Ryan paused at the front slope of the mound. Pitches at the glove. Tucks at the bill of the cap. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball is too high. Ball 4. Oh, he has thrown a very high amount of pitches tonight. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network.
It's us, KXTC, Glendale, Phoenix, 92.3 FM stereo. Message from the Phoenix Alcohol Safety Action Project. A bottle of beer, an average glass of wine, or a shot of liquor all have about the same alcohol content.
First pitch to Mike Adams is right up over the top of the helmet, all the way to the screen, and Adams just laid in the dirt, frozen for a moment, as if to say, did it hit me? He really had to get out of the way in a hurry. A fastball up and in. 1 ball, no strikes, and on the wild pitch, Soderholm moves into scoring position. The game score, and we apologize if we've lost that along the way, is 4-4. Each team scored 3 times in the first. The Angels took the lead in the 4th, and Minnesota tied it on an unearned run in the 6th. And now Soderholm, with a walk and a wild pitch, stands at second base, and the Angel infield looking for the sacrifice. 1 ball to count on Mike Adams. Here's the pitch. He's swinging away and grounds it to second. Up with it is Parker. No play at third. He flips to McCraw at first for the out. And on the play, moving to third, is Soderholm. Jerry Terrell. He has singled in a run. In fact, he tied the game with a base hit to right field in the 6th inning. He has grounded out and also took a 3rd strike. Torborg goes out to talk with Ryan. And we remind you that Angels Baseball is brought to you by Continental Airlines, the people who give you a flight to remember. On Continental, you get a personal experience worth sharing. It happens every day. So next chance you get with Continental, why don't you fly with them? They're the proud bird with a golden tail. Always the possibility of a squeeze in this spot. The Angel infield draws in, and Ralph Rowe, the third base coach, goes through a long series of signs for Terrell. A good bunter. Ryan works from the stretch, the pitch. Ground ball off the glove of Ryan. Here comes the run to the plate. The throw by Parker. He is out of there. The infield playing in. The ball seemed to tick the glove of Ryan as it skipped out to Parker. And trying to score was Soderholm, and he was out by a plenty. In fact, instead of sliding, Soderholm tried to hurdle his way over Torborg, and Torborg nicked him with a glove tag as he leaped by. Safe on the fielder's choice is Jerry Terrell. 2 outs in the 8th inning, and now time running out in this game for Nolan Ryan. He has 4 outs left, and he needs 2 strikeouts to set the record. Steve Bry has struck out once. He swings and misses at a curveball. He also has singled twice and scored a run. Terrell, a threat to steal at first base. He has good speed. 1 strike the count on right-handed hitting Steve Bry. Nolan Ryan sets. Kicks. There goes the runner. The pitch is swung on and missed. Torborg throw to second base is not in time. As diving in head first for the steal was Terrell. 2 strikes on Bry. And the crowd starting to build in its enthusiasm. Some fans already standing on their feet. And there are very few, as you look at the crowd in the lower deck behind the Angel dugout. They're up on the edge of the seat. Same in the mezzanine off to the right. They start applauding. They want 1 more strike. That would tie Koufax. Ryan straightens. Here's the pitch. He's got him. Sandy Koufax, 1965. Nolan Ryan, 1973. Each with a record-setting 382 strikeouts. And for history, we'll go to the 9th in a moment.
This month, the men alone.
The crowd has finally quieted. They stood for another 30 seconds cheering Ryan, almost asking if he wouldn't come out and give them a wave, but he'll wait for the record for that. 382 strikeouts. Ryan, his highest strikeout performance, a single game, is 17. He did it last September against the Twins, and in his no-hit game on July 15th at Detroit, has 15 strikeouts tonight. He has tied Koufax at 382. And looking ahead to the 9th inning, he will face, and it should be this way, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, and Harmon Killebrew. The 3 biggest names in the Minnesota lineup stand in the way of Ryan and a record all for himself tonight. Meanwhile, new relief pitcher comes in. Campbell goes to work for Minnesota. He's done a good job, and Frank Quillisi very high on this young man. Bill Campbell. Hands with 5 great innings in relief. 4-4 tie. Mickey Rivers now trying to get the Angels a run, and Ryan his 7th straight victory. Rivers 1 for 3. The pitch, high, ball 1. The man from Alvin, Texas, just 26 years old, continues to get out the eraser. Little number behind short. That's a tough play for Terrell. Going out, he reaches, can't get it. Rivers around first base and holds. The Angels have the speedy leadoff man on in the 8th inning. A soft fly ball off the head of the bat, and Rivers has 2 more hits. He's hit safely in 11 straight games, and has just been a terror since coming to the big leagues from Salt Lake City. That's 42 hits this month. Dave Chalk is 2 for 3 tonight. He scored a couple of runs. We'll see if the Angels go to the sacrifice. The Twins infield aligns itself looking for the bunt. Soderholm in on the grass at third. Killebrew holds on Rivers at first base. Chalk, right-handed batter, stands erect, up on the handle. Campbell made a good pitch, but Rivers able to cue it out over short for the hit. He sets. Chalk squares, bunts it in the air. Killebrew with an easy catch for the out. So the Angels have to go back to school on the sacrifice bunt. They have been consistently poor in that department all season. So Rivers is still at first, and Frank Robinson is the batter. Robinson knocked in his 96th run of the season with a single to center field in the first inning. He has walked and grounded out 1 for 2. Ryan, with that RBI, has 26 RBIs this month, more than any Angel's ever been able to deliver in September, and that's also the most in any month by an Angel, tying Bob Oliver and Leon Wagner. Campbell against Robinson. 8th inning, a 4-4 tie. Throw to first, and Rivers is back. The Twins infield supporting Bill Hands with 3 double plays while he was in there. Hands allowed only 2 hits in the 5 innings. Good pitching. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down too low. Campbell gives that hitter a lot of motion. Robinson, that bat on the end. Here's the pitch. Inside. It gets away from Mitterwald, but rolls out in front of him, and Rivers unable to advance. 2 balls and no strikes. And all the time, the Big A message board locked in position. The information, 1 season strikeout leaders, Ryan and Koufax, 382, and the years. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. The game is tied, and so are Koufax and Ryan. Fastball for a strike, 2-1. Bill Campbell, hard-throwing right-hander. Rivers at first base, 1 out. A 4-4 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Campbell sets. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball is too high, 3-1. The Twins tonight must feel like a bridegroom. All the attention on the person in white, and tonight it's Nolan Ryan. He's the bride, and the Twins just are part of the whole exercise. 9,100 fans here and cheering this evening. They're quiet now, but they'll be erupting soon. 3-1 pitch. Rivers goes, check swing, and on to second goes Rivers with a steal as Mitterwald does not throw the ball. The pitch is called a strike. Mitterwald perhaps thought it was ball 4, and that's why he didn't throw. Rivers coasted into second with a steal, his 8th since being recalled. He has done all the little things you want from a leadoff man. So it's a full count. Rivers in scoring position with 1 out. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Robinson and McCraw with a chance to get the Angels on top. Campbell sets. Here's the pitch. Sidearm curve is way outside, ball 4. So with first base open, Robinson wasn't going to get anything too good to hit. That is the 80th time this year Robinson has walked. Tom McCraw walked, an RBI single, and he fouled out to left. Campbell was 10-5 at Tacoma in the Pacific Coast League. Tranquility, see his head as he watches the action from the near end of the Minnesota dugout. Bobby Winkle's the same, almost the identical position in the Angel home. The pitch, a strike. It appeared he changed, or that might have been a forkball. Came up there floating. The totals on the board identical. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors each side. The Angels in the bottom of the 8th trying to get the lead for Nolan Ryan. Here's the pitch. Curveball weaved down and missed. Way out in front of a slow curve. On deck, Veda Pinson. The marked men, or marked man, as the case may be, in the top of the 9th. Will it be Carew, Oliva, or Killebrew? Or will it be any of them? Or all? 2 strikes on McCraw. Runners lead away, and here's the pitch. Fastball inside 1-2. Just toss in this aside. If Ryan should strike out all 3 of them in the 9th inning, he not only would set the Major League all-time single-season record, he would tie the American League single-game record. 3 more would give him 18, Bob Feller's record. 1-2 the count. McCraw's pitch. Chop foul at the plate. Another change. Came up and hit Tom on the backside, up around the numbers 22. Campbell fixes the ball in his glove and pulls it out. Sets himself on the rubber. A ball and 2 strikes on McCraw. Rivers from second. Robinson leads away from first. The pitch, swing and a miss. A straight change, and McCraw out in front. So he kept Tom off balance in that entire sequence with off-speed pitches. First strikeout for Campbell, and it boils down to Veda Pinson with 2 outs and 2 on. Veda is 0 for 2, but he knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly in the first inning. Rivers and Robinson ready to go. And Pinson trying to get that base hit to give the Angels the lead. Campbell stares down the chute. Mitterwald with a sign. And the pitch. High with a fastball. Campbell throws hard and has a very big motion. He really throws arms and legs at you when he delivers the ball. Campbell sets the pitch. Change is in there, a curveball, and he can get that off-speed pitch over. 1-1. This is only his 3rd year of pro ball. 1971. He signed and went to Wisconsin Rapids, where he was 5-3. Last year at Charlotte was 13-10, and then to Tacoma this year, where he won 10 and lost 5. The 1-1 pitch. Pinson swings and hits it high in the air to shallow right. Holt starts back, but now he comes in for it, makes the catch, and we go to the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left. The score after 8, a 4-4 tie, and Nolan Ryan gets a hand as he jogs out to the mound. We'll have the 9th inning in just a moment. This is the 9th inning. The 27th of September, a date that Nolan and his lovely wife Ruth will perhaps long remember. They've got to even through 8 innings because Nolan Ryan has 15 strikeouts tonight. He has tied Sandy Koufax's all-time single-season Major League strikeout record. Rod Carew up. He takes it low ball 1. 9th inning, Carew, Oliva, and Killebrew, the best of the Twins, to face Ryan. He needs 1 to erase Koufax's name. The pitch, curveball in there. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oh, there's so many people I know that feel close to Nolan Ryan now. Not just the fans, but the people who have been directly involved in his success. And, of course, you start with his wife, Ruth. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball lined out of play. It's 1-2 to Carew. Carew has struck out the last 3 times up. Wouldn't that be a nice way to get the record? The major leagues, well, one of the 2 top hitters. There are 2 all alone. Pete Rose in the National League. The top hitter in the American League, Rod Carew, against Nolan Ryan. It boils down to that. 382 strikeouts for Ryan. The 1-2 pitch. Outside. A fastball. And the fans standing ease back down in their seats with a groan. Ryan takes a slow walk to the back of the mound, throws that rosin bag away. From the dugout, a man who has been so helpful to Ryan, Freddie Federico, the trainer. Between the heat and the ice and the rubdown, he has kept Ryan ready all season. Nolan tugs at that glove. He's ready to pitch. The 2-2 delivery. Fastball fouled out of play, way up into the 3rd deck. Into the auxiliary press box, in fact. It remains 2-2 to Carew, and Ryan with another stroll to the back slope of the mound. And there's Tom Morgan, his pitching coach, who has watched his every move from day to day since way back in March. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball. Fly ball on the infield. Parker waves everyone away. It won't be Carew. Parker's got the out. There are 2 left. Tony Oliva, 2 singles in 3 at-bats. He has walked and he has struck out. Oliva, a 2-time batting champion, having a big season on bad legs as the designated hitter for the Twins, hitting .293 as he steps up there at the moment. He has 16 home runs, and he leads the Twins with 92 runs batted in. Tony O. Ryan has thrown, we would guess, 150 pitches tonight. He rocks back, and here it comes. Fastball high, ball 1. Oliva has sailed 2 line drives right past the ear of Ryan tonight for singles to center field. Killebrew on deck, the number 5 home run hitter all time, has struck out the last 2 times up. A 4-4 tie. Oliva out of the batter's box, now back in. The pitch. Curveball fouled at the plate. He ran that breaking pitch right in on the fists of Oliva, and he jammed it down off his front toe. That right foot. A ball and a strike. And someday, Robert Ryan, who will be 2 years old in November, will understand what all those baseballs mean in the Ryan Den back in Alvin, Texas. Ryan nods yes. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back. And again, it boils down to one pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan needs one more strike. Oh, knowing the pride of this Texan, how he would like to get the strikeout against the caliber of hitter of a Tony Oliva. And Oliva, with his great pride, up there pawing away at the batter's box. He does not want to be number 383. Ryan, in turn, animal-like, paws at the front of the pitching mound and rocks back. Here it comes. Fastball fouled out of play. And Oliva, hanging tough, hit that one back on a line into the terrace boxes in the lower deck.
Talking about Rod Carew, who's going to win his 3rd batting title. Here is a man right now standing there that has 3 silver bats in his den.
Oliva out of the batter's box, now back in that widespread characteristic stance. Ryan with all those gestures, tucking of the cap. He leans back. 1-2 pitch to Oliva. Popped up. It'll be Parker again, or will it be Pinson? It is the right fielder Pinson who comes into shallow right field to make the catch. And Oliva has the monkey off his back. Here comes Harmon Killebrew. 2 outs in the 9th inning. Nolan Ryan has struck out 15 to tie Sandy Koufax at 382. Killebrew doubled in 2 in the 1st, walked in the 3rd. He struck out swinging in the 5th and again in the 7th. Power against power. Ryan rocks the pitch. Fastball high and away, ball 1. That arm has to be tired. Surely he's doing a lot of this on adrenaline. The pitch. Curveball is in there. 1-1. Carew has popped up. Oliva with a pop fly to right. The game score is 4-4. The strikeout score is 382 to 382. Ryan and Koufax. Boils down to the final series in September. And Ryan, who has set American League records, 8 straight consecutive batters struck out last year. The American League strikeout champion 2 straight years. Now has a 1-1 pitch on Killebrew on its way outside. A curve. And Torborg calls time and goes out to chat with his pitcher. Ryan has to be exhausted. From the opening pitch tonight, you could see that Nolan was throwing everything, all of his body into every delivery. And with the 15 strikeouts and 6 walks, plus 7 hits, he has worked a lot. He's thrown many a pitch. As we said, he was nearly 70 through the first 3 innings. Ryan, perhaps calling upon some reserve from somewhere, takes another walk, a nervous walk, and now back up on top. 2-1 to Killebrew. The wind, the pitch. Curve is low. 3-1. Over the plate but downstairs, and Ryan wants another ball. On deck, Jim Holt. Holt struck out his first 2 times, but then popped up and singled. 9th inning, 2 outs, time called. Freddie Frederico goes out to the mound. It could be that Ryan has developed a blister. We'll see. Frederico asking Nolan if he's okay. And it could be between innings. Nolan said that his shoulder was stiffening, that he did not feel right. And the Angels, no matter how important that record may be tonight or this season, they would not want to risk the talent of this fine right-hander just to get a record. Frederico leaves. That could have been just to give Ryan an extra breather. Nevertheless, Frederico's back in the dugout. Ryan on the rubber. 3 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball lined up the middle for a base hit. So Killebrew singles sharply on a 3-1 fastball. And on a 4-4 tie, the Twins have the go-ahead score at first base, and Jim Holt is the batter. You could see Ryan's shoulders just sink when that one was hit by him. He is acting like a man who knows he doesn't have much left, although the bullpen finds no one throwing for the Angels. Rich Reese, veteran first baseman who has gone from Minnesota to Detroit and now back to the Twins, will pinch run for Harmon Killebrew. And if the game should go extra innings, then Reese would stay to play first base. Jim Holt has struck out twice. He's 1 for 4 in the game. And now the bullpen bell is ringing for the Angels, and a left-hander begins to throw. Steve Barber, the veteran. Holt, the batter. The pitch by Ryan. Low and inside, ball one. And Ryan shrugging the shoulder as that one got away from him. Dave Sells joins Barber in the bullpen. Ryan checks Reese, the pitch. Fastball hit foul. Off to the left. And the scramble on for that souvenir. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jim Holt. It has been an incredible evening in a fantastic year. 15 strikeouts tonight. 1-1 pitch. Line drive left field. Charging the ball is Berry. He's got it. And Ryan fails to get the strikeout in the 9th inning, but does get the Twins. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. To the bottom of the 9th inning, a 4-4 tie. Steve Barber and Dave Sells continue to throw out in the bullpen for the Angels. And it could be if the Angels do not score in the bottom of the 9th inning, Nolan Ryan is through for the night. He has to be at a point where he just doesn't have too much gas left. The Angels will try to get him a run in the bottom of the 9th inning. And if they do, it would be Ryan's 7th consecutive win, just tacking another win onto an Angel record. Berry, Gallagher, and Parker to face Campbell, a right-hander. Bill Campbell, he winds, and the pitch. Fastball in the outside corner for a strike. I don't like what you see in this young right-hander. He is only 25 years old. He's from Michigan, Highland Park, Michigan, a suburb of Detroit. 6'3" and 185, but he lives in San Diego. Curveball hangs inside 1-1. He was the strikeout king in the Southern League last year. Had a great ERA, 2.42. The 1-1 delivery from the side is grounded foul by Berry. 1-2. All is quiet now at the Big A. 9,100 with us. They have been able to cheer Nolan Ryan's 15th strikeout, which tied Sandy Koufax's all-time single-season record at 382. We're in the bottom of the 9th, 4 apiece. The pitch, high, 2-2. Campbell has a great assortment of pitches and pitching positions. He comes over the top, 3/4, and sidearm. He changes off both the fastball and the curve. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball by the mound off a thrown bat. Charging is Terrell. He can't make the play, and Berry has a base hit. Ball rolls out into the grass in shallow center field, and Crew goes out to get it. The Angels have the winning run on in the bottom of the 9th inning, and we're going to pause right here for station identification. This is the Angels Radio Network. Gallagher is the batter. Rich Reese comes over to talk with the young pitcher Bill Campbell. Berry, the base runner at first, carrying the winning run in the bottom of the 9th inning. If the Angels can score it, Nolan Ryan can celebrate his 21st win of the year. Gallagher way up on the handle. The situation calls for the sacrifice, and the Minnesota Twins are playing it that way. Third baseman Soderholm way in on the grass. They charge as Gallagher squares, bunts, and misses the ball. Strike 1. Mitterwald goes out to talk with Campbell. Reese, as soon as the pitch is made, is charging hard from first. Carew breaking toward first to cover. Shortstop Terrell has second base, and of course Soderholm also charging in on Gallagher, hoping to get the ball if it's bunted hard and make the play at second base. The outfield very shallow. Gallagher squares. He's already given himself up. Campbell's pitch, bunted foul. 2 strikes on Gallagher. Well, he certainly lived up to the name of the thing he's trying to do, sacrifice. He had given himself up long before Campbell delivered the ball, but went after a high fastball and bunted it foul. 2 strikes to count. We'll see if he's still up there to sacrifice. Twins think so. And he squares outside. 1-2. Ken Berry with an infield hit as he bounded one over the mound out behind second base to start this 9th inning. And again, that scoreboard is locked even. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for each side. Billy Parker kneels in the on-deck circle. 1-2 the count on Gallagher. Dirty Al way up on the handle. Here's the pitch. He bunts, and a good bunt to first, but Reese has a play at second. Get one out there, back to first base, a double play. Boy, it's got to be terribly frustrating to Bobby Winkle. The Angels just cannot buy a sacrifice. If you know of any around, I'm sure the price would not be too high for Winkles. He'd like to find one man who can bunt the ball. He got a bunt, but for 2 outs. And here's Billy Parker with 2 gone. That's the 4th double play the Angels have hit into tonight. It goes 3-6-4. The pitch to Parker is low, a breaking ball. Jeff Torborg on deck. The Angel bullpen continues to throw. Some drama involved here as to whether Ryan will continue in the 10th inning. It's probably up to Nolan himself. High and inside, 2-0 to Parker. Four double plays have certainly supported the Twins pitching tonight. 2-0 on Parker. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, 2-1. Some of the fans, of course, cheering for this game to go extra innings because understandably they're here and they would like to see Ryan set the strikeout record tonight. But they may not see Ryan in the 10th. Curveball is waved at and fouled. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to Parker. If we go to the 10th inning, George Mitterwald, Eric Soderholm, and Mike Adams are scheduled for Minnesota. 2-2. Parker the batter. Young Bill Campbell on the mound. Right-hander has his sign, and here's the pitch. Fly ball into right center field. Over goes Holt, the right fielder, and the center fielder, Bry, comes over to make the catch in front of him. We go to extra innings, and let's see. We're going to wait to see first if Nolan Ryan's going to come out of that dugout. As yet, he has not made an appearance, but that could be because Torborg had his catching gear off and was in the on-deck circle. It's a 4-4 tie, and here he comes. Ryan will pitch the 10th inning. For the baseball fan on your Christmas gift list, shop the easy one. After 9 innings tonight, the totals for the Twins and the Angels: 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Nolan Ryan has struck out 15. He is tied with Koufax at 382. Needs one more to set a new Major League record, and he'll get the chance in the 10th inning as we turn it back to Dave Niehaus.
Thank you, Dick. I have been lucky enough to be on the air for 2 of Nolan Ryan's epic feats this year, and I hope that this is the opportunity for the 3rd. First of all, on the 19th of September, he struck out Bill Sudeikis for the 350th. Here's the pitch, a slider outside. George Mitterwald, 1-0 to break Rube Waddell's mark. And then his last outing when he struck out Steve Bry. Next pitch is a strike, or is it? Yes, it is. Strike call. 1 ball and 1 strike. That was number 10. For the 22nd time this year he has done that, and now he is only 1 strikeout away from becoming the all-time strikeout king. The pitch. Slider outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Dr. Jules Rosinski, the Angel physician, Dave, has been kind enough to call us, and the reason why Ryan has been looked after, he has a muscle cramp in the leg.
The 2-2 pitch, line drive, base hit over the outstretched glove of Dave Chalk, so George Mitterwald singles sharply to left here in the 10th inning. It is in the leg.
Apparently, because of the heat of the evening, I'm sure that Nolan, with all the pitches he's thrown, has perspired heavily throughout the night, and they feel that could be the cause, just a muscle cramps due to the loss of body salt, and that's why there have been some delays between innings and why Freddie Federico went out to the mound in the last inning.
Well, here's the only man that Nolan Ryan has not struck out tonight, Eric Soderholm. The pitch to him around a bunt, takes a fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Soderholm walked in the 1st, bounced into a double play in the 3rd, flied out to right in the 6th, and walked in the 8th. The only man that Nolan Ryan has not struck out. in the lineup. That would be now with the exception of Rich Reese, who came on defensively in the 9th inning for Minnesota. The stretch. And the throw to first base. McCraw was not on the bag at first, and George Mitterwald was back easily. 1 ball and no strikes on Soderholm. Again, the stretch by Ryan. And the pitch around a bunt he does at the first base line. It is a foul ball, so-called by Red Flaherty. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count on Soderholm. A 4-4 tie. We're in the 10th. Nolan Ryan, if you've just tuned in, and we certainly hope you have not just tuned in, because Nolan has tied the all-time mark, Sandy Koufax, by striking out 15, his victim being Steve Bry. Bry was his 382nd victim this year. The stretch. Soderholm around the bunt, fake the bunt, and then pull the bat back and take a slider outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Alan Gallagher is playing about 45 feet away from Eric Soderholm. Soderholm hits one on the button. Gallagher doesn't have a chance. The stretch. Soderholm faking as if the bunt and swings away and sends a ground ball to second. Chalk goes to the bag himself, throws to first. That's a double play. So Soderholm indeed not bunting as he pulled the bat back and took the full swing but grounded to Chalk for the 6-4-3 double play. 2 down in the 10th, and here's Mike Adams. And Freddie Federico goes out to have a chat with Nolan Ryan.
And Dave, Nolan really does not have near the stuff he enjoyed earlier in the game, and that's to be understood. But he is not overpowering the hitters. He's getting them out, and I guess he's just returning to what hitters would call a normal, good Major League pitcher. He's not able to really blow that fastball by them now, and I guess the toll of all the pitches that he has thrown has taken something out of that right arm.
Mike Adams has struck out 2 of the 4 times that he has faced Nolan Ryan. The wind and the pitch to the right-handed batting Adams is a fastball for a strike. 0-1, and there's a roar, and you're going to hear it on every strike from here on out. Adams became strikeout victims number 370 and 374 in the Ryan chronology of 1973. The wind by Nolan. And a 1-strike delivery, a fastball high and away, and Nolan overthrowing the fastball and very awkward in his follow-through. 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's trying to get everything on every pitch. This could be the last man or the last out he faces.
The 1-1 pitch to Adams. Low with the curve, and Flaherty didn't give him much of a break on that pitch. Low and outside, and just barely low. 2 balls and 1 strike on Mike Adams. The wind by Ryan, the 2-1 delivery. A fastball outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. And Ryan trying ever so hard and just missing again with that pitch. 3-1. Adams makes his home in Anaheim. Time call by Flaherty as he waits for Adams to get back in. The 3-1 pitch to Mike. Fastball, ground ball, back over the mound into center field. That'll be a base hit. So Mike Adams risks one into center field. And here is Jerry Terrell.
Ball wasn't hit very hard at all. It was almost as if Ryan was too tired to really reach down that far. He just kind of gave it a little wave as it rolled by him out toward second.
Jerry Terrell is 1 for 4. He singled off Ryan in the 6th when the Twins scored the tying run, tied at 4. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Twins. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Angels. Right-handed batter Jerry Terrell chokes up on the bat. Lined, and there goes a runner from first, goes all the way to the backstop. A slider, Torborg back to get it. Sliding on the play was Mike Adams, and Adams, by the slide, may have cost him the extra base going to third. Be a stolen base given to Mike Adams. That's the 2nd for the youngster this year. So the go-ahead run at second base. Probably more important to Ryan right now than the strikeout because the game is tied at 4-4. Nolan 20 and 16. Jerry Terrell steps back in. Adams anchored at second base. Ryan to the back slope of the mound, now to the grass to rub up the baseball. Staring at his defense, it finds it just about straight away and not too deep for Terrell. Adams away from second. Ryan at the belt. The 1-0 delivery to Terrell. Strike. A fastball buzzed right down the middle. Again, that was not that real good smoke from Nolan Ryan. Terrell with his hands on his hips staring down at third base coach Ralph Rowe, but with 2 down, there's not much that Rowe can tell him. Ryan stretches. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball popped up on the right side of the infield. He'll have to wait for another inning. Out in foul territory is Billy Parker to make the catch. And that'll do it for the Minnesota Twins in the top half of the 10th. The Twins, no runs on a couple of hits, no errors, and a man left. We go to the bottom half of inning number 10. We have a 4-4 tie. Tall string being right-hander Bill Campbell works on the Angels in the bottom half of the 10th. You look at Jeff Torborg, and then Mickey Rivers and Dave Chalk. Torborg in a conference with third base coach Salty Parker before he comes to the plate. The Angel bullpen, as they bat in the bottom half of the 10th, not throwing, should be indicative, at least right now, that Nolan Ryan would probably go on to the 11th inning. Or that Steve Barber is already warm.
On the other hand, Dave, Nolan walked off the mound. He didn't jog to the dugout as he normally would. He walked off almost as if to say, that's got to be it for me.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Torborg 0 for 3. Right-hander Bill Campbell, the third Twins pitcher in the game. Throws the curve. It's bounded up the third baseline. It is a foul ball. So Torborg trying to beat a bunt out down the third baseline, but he fouls it. 0-1 on Jeff. The Twins scored 3 in the first. The Angels came right back with 3 of their own in the first. The Angels went ahead 4-3 with a single run in the third, and then the Twins came back with a single run in the sixth to tie at 4-4, and that's exactly where we are right now. 1 strike on Jeff Torborg. Bill Campbell, a 10-game winner in the Pacific Coast League, kind of double rocks, and the 1-strike pitch is laced foul off the first base side, back out of play into the mezzanine section. No balls and 2 strikes. That tight National League East pennant race, the Phillies a winner over the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Cardinals a winner over the Cubs today. So the Mets have 1 full game lead on the Bucks, 2.5 over St. Louis, 3.5 over Montreal. The pitch now, inside and low, gets off the shin guard of catcher George Mitterwald and bounces about 15 feet to the right of home plate. 1-2. The Cubs are 4 out. They're just about out of it. And, of course, the Phillies bring up the rear at 9.5. Devastating blow dealt, however, by the Phillies to Pittsburgh today in 13, 3-2. They won. The 1-2 pitch to Torborg, a fastball and a ground ball to the right side. Carew is there and takes it on about 3 hops and throws to first to Rich Reese in time for the first out in the bottom half of the 10th. Mickey Rivers, 2 for 4 tonight. An infield base hit in the first. He grounded out in the second, flied out in the 5th, and singled and stole his 8th base of the year in the 8th off Bill Campbell. Rivers was the first man that Campbell faced in the 8th. The Angels threatened but couldn't do anything about it as Chalk, attempting to bunt, popped out to Armin Killebrew as he bunted. Frank Robinson then walked, but McCraw struck out, and Pinson flied out to end the threat. Right-hander Bill Campbell, who faced Mickey Rivers, I'm sure, quite a few times this year in the Pacific Coast League, and Rivers sends a high drive to right field. Over to his left is Jim Holt and makes the catch. 2 down. Rivers just did miss getting all of this ball. It was hit about 300 feet right down the right field line, about 30 feet in front of the 330 marker. 2 down. Here's David Chalk. David 2 for 3, singled in the first, singled in the third, struck out in the 5th, and bunted in the 8th, make him 2 for 4. Hitting at 236 as he came into the game. That average will move up. The wind and the pitch to Chalk. Fastball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Young Frank Tanana or Clyde Wright tomorrow night. And then Saturday, Bill Singer goes for his 20th. A change nicely thrown for Campbell. By Campbell. 1 strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. And then depending on what happens later on this evening, we'll just have to wait and see about Sunday, won't we? If Nolan Ryan breaks the record tonight, I would doubt that the Angels would chance hurting his arm. The 1-1 pitch is a curve, low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Dave Chalk.
They have no one throwing in the Angel bullpen, so apparently Bryan will continue on.
The wind and the 2-1 pitch. Chalk swings and foul tips it at the plate. Reminds me of the ball game. I believe we went 12 innings, Dick, when he pitched against Detroit at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. How many pitches did he throw?
Over 200.
Right. It's got to be right around that mark this evening. And he won the ball game, incidentally. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chalk. Wind by Campbell. The 2-2 pitch sidearm fastball grounded to third. Right there is Soderholm down with a tailgate. Throws to first in plenty of time. And the Angels are gone in order here in the 10th. 1, 2, 3. We will go to the 11th. We will see if Nolan Ryan will go to the 11th, waiting for his appearance. Nobody warming up. You'll hear a round of applause in the background as number 30 appears, if indeed he will. The gates to the bullpen have not been opened. John Roseborough bringing Dave Chalk's helmet back, underhanding the ball out to Jeff Torborg. Ryan has still not made the appearance. The crowd standing in anticipation. The bullpen gate is being opened or not. You see John Stevenson down there standing, and as yet Nolan Ryan has not made his appearance. We will wait and see. It has not been opened. Meanwhile, the Angel infielders just pegging the ball around. Ryan perhaps still back being worked on by trainer Freddie Federico. A lot of the fans behind the Angel dugout just standing. The Angel bullpen gate still has not been opened, which leads one to believe that Ryan will eventually make an appearance. Red Flaherty is staring over at the Angel dugout. Again, Ryan is tied with Koufax at 382. Red Flaherty is asking, what are you going to do? He steps over and nods yes. The Angel bullpen gate still is closed. And here he comes. So Nolan Ryan will go it into the 11th. And we remind you that Fan Appreciation Night here at the Big A this year will include gifts for the youngsters. So plan on bringing the entire family to see the Angels and these Twins on Saturday night when Bill Singer will be going for his 20th victory of the year. The first 8,000 youngsters will receive souvenir gifts from the Angels. It's first come, first serve for a choice among 3-ring binders, T-shirts, pennants, and pictures. And remember, the game begins at 7 o'clock. That's on Fan Appreciation Night this Saturday, the 29th of September. Tickets on sale at the Big A box office from 9 to 5:30 daily at Mutual and Liberty agencies and at UCB in Orange, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. We go to the 11th. So does Nolan Ryan. So does Dick Enberg.
Thank you, Dave. Nolan will face the leadoff man, Steve Bry, Rod Carew, and Antonio Oliva. Ryan has struck out 15, but he has not enjoyed a strikeout since the 8th inning. The pitch to Bry, outside with a breaking ball. It could be that the delay for Ryan was the fact that with that muscle cramp, they may have taken him back into the training room, and Freddie Federico may have rubbed him down, try to improve the circulation. The 1-0 pitch to Bry. Curveball is in there. Bry singled and scored in the first, singled in the second, struck out in the fourth, hit into a double play in the sixth, and he struck out in the 8th, the last man that Ryan struck out. Fastball is foul back. So Ryan is a strikeout away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 382 strikeouts are already in the bank for Nolan Ryan to equal Sandy Koufax's Major League record. And now the crowd's asking, pleading, cheering for just one more. Right-hander against right-hander. Steve Bry up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ryan into the windup. Here's the pitch. He fouls it off. The fans cheering that one with their hearts and not their eyes. Bry took a swing. They knew he hadn't hit it into fair territory, but he had clipped it foul off the mask of Red Flaherty. It was not a strike. 1 and 2. Steve Barber starts to throw in the bullpen. Ryan rocks back. The 1-2 pitch. Curveball grounded to short. Up with it is Chalk. He throws to first, 1 away. So again, Ryan gets 2 strikes on a hitter and can't put him away. And Ryan now is like the heavyweight fighter with a knockout punch that has gone so many rounds that he has his opponent staggering and staggering, but doesn't have enough left to deliver that one blow that will knock him to the canvas and put him away. He's getting the 2 strikes on the hitters, but he can't get that third. Rod Carew is 0 for 4 in the game. He has struck out 3 times. He has also walked and scored. And the fact that you put a collar around Carew's neck is doing enough. He's due to get a base hit. The pitch, curveball outside, ball 1. Torborg the catcher, the infield Gallagher, Chalk, Parker, and McCraw. In the outfield, Barry, Rivers, and Pinson from left to right. The pitch, curveball, strike. On the inside corner, 1-1. Ryan struck out 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, the side in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, no one in the sixth, but struck out the side in the seventh. The pitch, high and outside, tried to get a little extra on the fastball. And then he struck out Steve Bry as the last out in the 8th inning. That was his 382nd, but failed to get anyone in the 9th or the 10th, and there's one out here in the 11th. 2-1 the count. The pitch. Curveball too high. 3-1. On deck, Tony Oliva. And it is a great example for the fans here tonight, the 9,100, to see just the little difference, what a little difference it is between an overpowering strikeout pitcher and just a real good pitcher. 3-1 pitches outside, ball 4, a breaking ball. Ryan has walked his 7th man, and here comes Tony Oliva, and here comes Bobby Winkles to the mound. And Winkles looks toward the bullpen. Ryan meets him halfway to the third base foul line. And it's strictly up to Nolan Ryan. Bobby Winkles is not going to take Ryan out of the game just to preserve a win. He's not that kind of guy. He is going to let Nolan Ryan pitch as long as he wants. The only place where Winkles might interfere with Ryan's thinking is the fact where Ryan might be, well, falsely courageous, or foolishly so, and might injure himself. Winkles wants to protect against that and just wants to be certain that Ryan is really okay. Apparently, Ryan has convinced his manager Winkles leaves. Oliva, tough to strike out. Ryan got him once, but that was way back in the 2nd inning. Oliva with 2 hits and a walk. He's 2 for 4. One of the truly tough outs in the American League. Harmon Killebrew on deck. Ryan looks over at Carew. The pitch. Fastball inside. Carew, remember, has 40 stolen bases. And Ryan isn't paying much attention to him. Right side open. Parker trying to cover the hole as McCraw is holding Carew on. 1 ball, no strikes the count. 1 out, top of the 11th, 4-4 tie. An unearned run scored by the Twins back in the 6th inning tied the game after both clubs got 3 in the 1st, and the Angels took the lead with a run in the 3rd when they chased starter Dave Goltz. Ryan checks Carew at first. The pitch way outside with a curve, and Ryan, with each pitch, you can see that he's losing a little. He does not have much left, and he's facing some pretty tough hitters to be losing as much as he is off that fastball and the curve. It is Rich Reese, of course, who's on deck. Killebrew leaving the game for a pinch runner after he singled the last time up. Ryan does go to first, and it's a fairly close play as Carew has to dart back to the bag. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan goes to first again. Oh, almost got him. McCraw thought they had Carew. A good move by Ryan. Carew did not slide, and that made it terribly close. Ryan from the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Oliva is trying to hit that one to El Monte. 2-1. Oliva staggering out of the batter's box, and his momentum carried him halfway to the screen. Now he walks back up to the plate. Ryan has struck out 15. He has walked 7. What a season for Nolan Ryan. Just wanting one more strikeout. 2-1 pitch. The runner goes. It's a high fly ball to left center field. Rivers easing back under it. Carew playing it halfway will return to first as Rivers makes the catch. Let's pause for station identification from Anaheim Stadium. This is the Angels Radio Network.
This is KXTC Glendale, Phoenix 92.3 FM stereo.
Rich Reese, the batter. The pitch swung on a miss. You can feel it through the crowd, a vibration saying, maybe this is the guy. Reese, he hasn't faced him yet tonight. Reese batting in Killebrew's spot. Harmon was 2 for 4. He struck out twice. He walked. He doubled in 2 runs back in the 1st inning. Reese is hitting 151 total with the Twins and the Tigers this year. 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. 1 strike pitch. There goes Carew. Swing and a miss. The throw to second base. Not in time. A close play. And the crowd cheers the call of second base umpire Lou DeMuro. It was very close. The crowd wanted Carew to be safe because Ryan now has 2 strikes on Rich Reese. So the go-ahead score is at second. 41 steals for Carew. 2-strike pitch coming up. Ryan sets. Here it is. Swung out and missed. Nolan Ryan is the Major League strikeout king of all time. He walks off the mound. His teammates come over to greet him one by one. The crowd standing and cheering. Ryan strikes out Rich Reese 383 strikeouts in his 1973 season. And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen one of the finest young men to ever wear a baseball uniform record one of the most incredible records in Major League history. 383 for Nolan Ryan.
Welcome aboard Chevrolet's mid-sized family wagon, the 3-seat Malibu Estate.
They are still standing and cheering here at Anaheim Stadium. Nolan Ryan has already given one encore wave, and they're asking him to come out one more time as the message board spells it out. 383 strikeouts for Nolan Ryan. He has broken Koufax's record. Bill Campbell, the pitcher from Minnesota, stands out on the mound. He has completed his warm-up tosses. The Angel fans here at Anaheim Stadium asking Ryan to come out just one more time and give him a wave. You know, here's where you wish baseball was like track and field. When a man performs a record-breaking run or field event performance, he will circle the track and acknowledge the cheers of the fans, and that's what the fans are asking for right now from Nolan Ryan. Ryan, modest man, he's given him a quick wave. He is appreciative of the fans. And now the chant starts, we want Nolan, we want Nolan. But they're not going to get Nolan. Frank Robinson is at the plate, ready to hit. Bottom of the 11th inning. Bill Campbell on the mound. Oh, that's got to be one of our greatest thrills. Campbell lines. Here's the pitch. Curveball swung on and missed. And Robinson now would like to give Ryan a victory. The crowd still standing. And now the one by one, they settle back in their seats, although they're chanting, we want Nolan. And fans themselves, it's interesting, the conduct of the people here. They're shaking hands with each other as if they were all part of this great night. That swing and a miss by Robinson, and well, they should feel that excited. Young men, husbands and wives, friends shaking hands, embracing it just to say, yes, we saw it. We were part of it all. And that is what makes this a great game. It is perhaps the most personal of all games, all professional activities. Robinson with a check swing roller at the plate, foul. 0-2. I guess there are many reasons for that. It's a game in which you get to know the players perhaps more than any other game because of the length of the season, because it is a game that is set in a more pastoral setting. You have a chance to absorb more of the activity. There is the drama of the man in the center of the diamond. Everyone knows what's going to happen. He has the ball and he has to throw it. And, of course, one by one, all you had to do is count to 3 to appreciate what Nolan Ryan has done tonight. And the fans excited tonight. 9,100 were in on the new record at Anaheim Stadium. 2-strike pitch to Robbie is grounded toward short. A tough play. The third baseman cuts in front, throws to first just in time to get Robbie, who was giving it all he had, trying to beat that one out. Now the Angels would like to get Ryan a run. You have to feel that Ryan will not pitch in the 12th inning, that his season is over. The 383 was his goal, and he has it, and he has worked very hard to get it tonight, and it might be foolish for him to try to go beyond. 1 out. It remains tied at 4. Tom McCraw has a single and 3 at-bats. Meanwhile, Bill Campbell continues to pitch superbly in relief for Minnesota. The pitch, outside corner for a called strike. So Ryan got his 382nd strikeout in the 8th inning, his 15th, and his 16th of the night with 2 outs in the 11th. Rich Reese, the victim. Ground ball up the middle. To his left goes Terrell. It's into center field for a base hit. Oh, what an effort by Terrell as he somersaulted to the second base side of the bag trying to come up with the ball. McCraw with a one-out single. The winning run is on, and that would certainly cap a beautiful evening for Angel fans and for Nolan Ryan if they could also get Ryan a victory. Ryan has given the fans the thrill that they asked for, and now the Angel teammates would like to present him with a victory, his 21st of the year. Vada Pinson is the batter. Pinson is 0 for 3. He knocked in a run with a sacrifice fly back in the first inning when the Angels scored 3 times. Rod Carew comes in from second base to talk to Campbell. George Mitterwald goes out to the mound. Well, it's quite an experience, David.
I'll tell you, it's an experience that I hope that we have conveyed the excitement. Certainly the fans here. After Nolan Ryan had struck out 383 and headed for the dugout, and the shouts in the background that I'm trying to equate it with what I've been through before. I can't come up with anything quite like it.
The only thing that was missing is about 33,000 more fans.
That's right.
Campbell kicks and deals, and Pinson swings and misses at that good straight change. And I have to think there'll be a day soon when it won't be 9,100, but maybe 39,100, and the game will not only be just for strikeouts, but for the big money and a chance to get into the American League playoffs. And I guess that's what all fans for every team in the big leagues are hoping for from the first day of spring. Campbell goes to first, and McCraw jumps back to the bag. 16 strikeouts, and Ryan has the all-time record at 383. The pitch, low, and a good stop by Mitterwald.
We've been so lucky to have been part of so many great sports moments, the two of us, and certainly one that immediately comes to mind, certainly not baseball, but one of the great thrills of my life, I'm sure it was of yours, was Tony Guillory's block punt of that Green Bay game, and then the touchdown pass.
Gabriel to Bernie Casey.
That's right. That was one of the great thrills, and this has to rank right there with it.
The 1-1 pitch coming up from Bill Campbell. The runner goes. The pitch is lined on one hop off the shins of Terrell, and McCraw will have to hold at second base. The ball was not hit as hard as Terrell thought it was. It was hit off the end of the bat, so Terrell was expecting it to explode at his feet. Instead, it spun at his feet and kicked off his shins, and it's an error charge to Terrell. So the Angels, on a single and an error, have the winning run in scoring position here in the 11th inning, and it is Richie Scheinblum who comes out of the Angel dugout. McCraw running on the play, and that helped to make the play work because Terrell had to see out of his peripheral vision. McCraw racing to second, and Terrell lost the play. Quillisi goes to the mound to talk to his battery. There's no one throwing in the bullpen. Scheinblum batting for Berry. Well, Dave, I've talked to a lot of people who have been sportscasters in all of the fields, hockey and basketball, baseball, football, and we have enjoyed so many thrills in all the sports. But the consensus, and I would have to say unanimously, the biggest thrill that any man can have as a radio play-by-play announcer is to be with a team that wins a pennant and goes through and wins a World Series. And they all say it, that there just is no thrill quite like the day-to-day excitement of a team headed toward that one World Series championship.
It's because it is such a long season, as Jim Brosnan said. By golly, you begin in February, and it doesn't culminate until October, and it is the repetition, I'm sure, seeing a ball club win a pennant, and then it even makes it more exciting now because you have to go through the playoffs and then the World Series.
Like making love from April to October. Here's the pitch to Scheinblum. He takes it low, ball one. Richie batting left-handed, and that's his strong side.
Haven't you ever had that experience?
Not going to get into that. Scheinblum, the hitter. McCraw, the winning run at second base. We're in the bottom of the 11th inning, a 4-4 tie on Nolan Ryan night at the Big A. The pitch to Richie, inside corners, says Flaherty. Scheinblum was jumping away from the plate. Scheinblum is hitting .313, but .352 left-handed. McCraw at second, Pinson at first. One out. The Angels trying to win it for Nolan Ryan. Campbell on the mound. His 1-1 delivery. A change is too high. 2-1. On deck, Al Gallagher, but remember Bob Oliver, although he's suffering from a mild case of the flu and was not in the starting lineup, is in uniform and available for pinch hitting duty. At least that's the report we received at game time. That was 3 hours ago, and Bob may not have improved, and it's conceivable he may have retired for the night. The 2-1 pitch. Swing, a line drive, slicing the left center field, racing over is Bry, goes back, and it's over his head, all the way to the wall. Here comes McCraw. The Angels win 5-4. Nolan Ryan strikes out 383, gets 16 tonight, and the Angels help him to celebrate all the more his 7th straight victory this season as the Angels beat the Minnesota Twins 5-4 in 11 innings. Shine Bloom's line shot to left center field, carrying over the head of Steve Bry. It has ruled a double, and the Angels, on certainly one of the finest moments in Anaheim Stadium's history, have won a game, and Nolan Ryan has won the hearts of his many fans with another incredible performance. A Herculean effort. He goes 11 innings to get his 16th strikeout and his 383rd for the year. There's so many records to talk about, but what really is important now is we get to the man himself, Nolan Ryan, and that's coming up in just a moment.